Baguette.
Oui, oui.
Oh, oui, oui. Yeah, big sniffy. Yeah, this is a real funky organ solo. Jesus.
It sounds possessed.
He's actually just like having a stroke at the keyboard. Who emailed me? Oh, it's my bank saying that I have rewards. Probably like 2 cents from buying a burger yesterday.
I love this website.
What website is it?
It's called userbenchmark.com. You can find your PC and then find out how to make it better, like different graphics cards, CPUs,
Oh,
and it gives you like the value, like what the average value is and what website you can get it from, and it gives you a total price.
Huh.
So to make my computer 71% gaming, it can by updating my CPU, GPU, SSD, HDD, RAM, and MBD, it will only cost me $732 to have like a super gaming computer. I'm like, that is awesome.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
No.
Yeah, I've been slowly grabbing all the parts for a new computer myself. I've got most of them, but I still need another, like, 400-ish.
Hmm.
I don't remember.
Oh yeah.
Next 2 paychecks and I'll have it.
Mm.
Battle is up, everyone, by the way. Go make sure you place your units. I won't be talking about it much during this stream, so we'll just be running the battles. Yeah, I had to grab a different motherboard than the one I was originally planning on because the one I was planning on went out of stock.
Oof.
And now the other one that I grabbed, I mean, the other one I grabbed is better. It just was more expensive as well.
Mm-hmm.
You did make sure it was the right motherboard for the core type that you picked out, right?
Yes. I didn't get much out of college, but I did at least understand computer hardware.
More than mine.
I'm not talking to you, Alexa.
Thanks, Alexa. Hey, Alexa, play Deprestacito.
One day that's gonna work.
Okay, about $500 more. For the cooling, the hard drive, I'm going with an M2, and a power supply. I really like this processor, though. The AMD Threadripper 16-core processor.
It depends what you want to use it for. Because hands down, if you want gaming, Intel is generally better. AMD is very good for multitasking, though. If you want things like Photoshop open with many layers and other things, AMD CPUs handle that a lot better.
I'm doing streaming. Probably with gaming on the same computer. So, multitasking is good. So anyways, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons. I will turn it over now to... we'll turn it to Zerth.
Thanks.
Confused gator noises.
Last time I wore a suit, it was pleasant.
And you also got.
Oh my god, so many shiny rupees.
But yeah, actually, it's not shiny yet. It's just a banknote right now. But since you're in a bank, you can get that exchanged. The bank that you were in, since I did kind of overstate how big Hathril actually is. It's actually classified as a hamlet. So the bank and the kind of attached trading company are the big things that this town has going for it. That, as well as the very well stocked tavern just down the only street. But it's about 30 or so buildings in the town. You see that there's a handful of roads leading off into the countrysides towards various farms and ranches. But as far as city life goes, it's fairly quaint. The streets are, while kind of rustic, are fairly well taken care of. As you all step out of the bank, your pocket's quite a bit heavier. You see an elemental carriage just kind of trundling off towards the north. Two kind of armed guards sit on the top, but you can't really see into the curtained interior as to what sort of important person is riding in that direction. But it's nice and calm, which is kind of in opposition to what you guys came back from and killed something quite large beneath the mountains to the northwest. So, what are you
What
guys
is
going to
calm?
be doing?
I only know angry and super angry.
Hey, here's an opportunity to learn something else.
Sieves and squirrel anger.
Hey, I'm looking at the pit fighting table right now. Because I know that's probably what you want to get up to.
Is there actually pit fighting in Half Roll?
Not on the surface, but if you ask around enough, you could probably set it up like a,
Dova!
like kind of a fighting ring, or maybe like a, like
Damn it,
backyard
Dova!
wrestling. What?
You're breaking the only rule!
What's the only? Oh, right. Hey, you brought it up.
I did not.
By the way, you just lost the game. Sorry to have to do it to you.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to cash this banknote.
All right.
There was 5 people in there, and I jumped in, and
So what's that? 13,000 divided, basically 6 ways. That's what? I should probably bring up the calculator.
Numbers with things.
That's 2,166 and 2/3 Galifars for each person.
You could just put it in the character sheet. Or the
Yes,
party
but that would
sheet.
distribute it out to DeSoto as well. I don't want that.
You can remove him temporarily.
Fine.
Remove him forever.
All right.
And it would actually be 7 ways.
Yeah, because of the boy. Oops. All right.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
No?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I've got some delay going on and one of my mics aren't working.
I get you.
Yeah, I'm also hearing myself 20 seconds later through someone.
Is the stream open for you?
Wait, I got that. Might be.
All right. So your pockets are now quite a bit
Use
heavier.
my snowball today.
You guys looking for anything?
A small island.
We're just gonna retire.
Yeah.
This is it for us. Level 9 adventure ends.
Hey Dova,
Yeah.
how obedient are gargoyles?
I guess it depends on what you want to put them into. It seems that they work just fine as couriers in some of the larger cities. So it's definitely not out of the question to get them to sort of the same level of obedience as a unruly cat.
Because I'm small, and I'd like some sort of mount and/or something to help carry things. Because as it
I mean, that's
stands,
the rest of your party right now.
Hmm.
I've got my alchemist jug, my unfolding boat, and my dragon in a ball that I can't all put in a bag of holding.
Hmm. Well, as far as finding a gargoyle, probably not in this town.
Yeah, I mean we'll probably have to go back to the main city that we were in before.
It is up to you. As far as you are aware, there's
I'm not going
no.
back to the town we were in before.
That's fair. You were being hunted there. But where you go is up to you now. At the current moment, I don't believe you have any sort of open quests or sort of pending needs.
Sinnoh's gonna look around for anything local that needs done.
Okay.
Like dangerous animals or anything that he could go take care of.
All right.
Not so much for the money, but just, keep busy.
Mm-hmm.
And on the move.
All right. So, looking at the bounty board, it seems that there is a small reward for a handful of things. There is some bounty work to be done. However, it's fairly low stakes and low price even for you. The highest single humanoid bounty up there is only like 50 gallifars. You do see something regarding clearing out a number of ghouls that are infesting a kind of a quarantined farmhouse out in the countryside. But doesn't seem that the war has touched this town too hard so far. You see that. Sorry, go ahead.
He'll go ahead and take the ghoul one.
All right. The reward for going in there and basically ensuring that it's fully cleared out is about 500 gold.
Oh,
Am I coming
Gallifar,
through?
sorry. Sorry?
But am I coming through?
Yes.
Finally. Okay, sorry.
No problem.
Sinnoh will go find Innoon to help him with this job.
All right.
Noon will help him out. Because he's... Sorry, give me a second here. Alright, yeah, Noon will, I guess, follow along after you tell him about the bounty.
Yeah, we'll just go clear out the ghouls.
All right. It does mention that it's about 10 of them in a very confined space. But if you want to, you can just go right on out.
Yeah, I can do 7 fireballs.
Wait, you could really do
What-
7?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, well, perfect. Yeah, let's do it.
Right? I'd say, you know what? I'm not even gonna have. Well, I'm gonna have you roll damage and stuff, but I say you could probably do brute force and just basically take care of it.
Are we required to keep the house intact? I suppose we should ask that.
Give an investigation check on the fine print.
Okay, let's see. Starting out good.
Mine's not much better.
As far as you can tell, no. There's some kind of vague wording as far as percentage of the house left translated to percentage of payment, but it's really vague, and it's honestly, you think they might not even remember the fine print themselves.
All right, well, one level 5 fireball coming up.
All right.
Oh no.
As you two basically just head out of the town for a little while. It takes maybe about an hour of walking to get there, but eventually you do see a very obviously boarded up and darkened farmhouse. The door has been barricaded from the outside, and everything has been kind of sealed up about it. As there's a large warning sign right out front, just outside the fence. But it doesn't seem that there's any that have escaped so far. But you kind of stroll on up. Inun just kind of rolls his sleeves up and go ahead and just roll damage on however many fireballs you want to cast.
Don't ghoul open inside. Odd. Okay.
I got that joke. I understood that.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Didn't we bring that joke up on the Saturday
That was
game?
that was in Starfinder. Brought that up. I don't think anyone else understood.
No, I got it.
Anybody, yeah, well, other than you.
Yeah.
Come on, that's class A comedy.
It's amazing. It's great. I forgot what I was locking though, so.
Wasn't it your room or something?
I don't remember. Let's see how much. As the first one explodes, splinters go flying as some of the barricades are broken off, as just the whole structure begins burning. You see inside just a little bit of movement as a handful of them start to kind of stagger out. They're kind of desiccated and very bare bodies. You can just see the bones just beneath the skin.
Oh, I love the smell of fireball in the morning.
But there's still 3 left.
All right, Sinal. Get ahead. He's kind of waving his arm over at the charred place.
Okay. Okay.
It's like a cat when it's just playing with the rat. It's like, hey, look, I caught this for you. Come on, finish it off. You can do it.
Well, then I guess I'll just shoot at him.
All right, that would hit. Go ahead and do damage. All right, that would finish it off. So there's 2 left. All right, that would hit.
And I guess there'd be...
What was I thinking of?
Oh, wait, no, because then DeSoto would get another attack because... Ew.
Ooh. Can we get the crit fail table?
Do we really need to?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna get one hit on us out of this.
Alright, Dova, just so you know.
Cat got your
I sent you a
tongue. Take the attack's normal damage, and if this attack was a bite, you are unable to speak until healed.
Oh, I
couldn't
mean,
speak anyways.
Dova, I
This
sent-
accidentally bites hard down on his own tongue. He lets out a bit of a pained yelp and just kind of backs away.
DeSoto, speak. Speak.
There's a lot of blood in his mouth. That
Oh.
doesn't look fun.
Oh, jeez.
Dova, I sent you a DM with what I want to do with my money. Look at
I
it at your
I saw.
Fix the problem.
All right. There's still one left, by the way.
All right. I'll shoot that, then fix the problem.
It seems, yeah, it's very, very slow. But that would probably kill it. As the abandoned farmhouse starts to go up in flames, you hear a few kind of pops and crackles from inside as the structure catches fire. But within a few moments, it's just engulfed. The wood fairly dry. And yeah, that's right about it. You wouldn't see anything coming out.
All right, so I think we saved the day. Just staring at a house burning down.
We saved the house.
We did it, Patrick. We saved the city.
We saved the town.
I don't think that's happened to you guys yet.
Yet.
What, saving
There's
anything?
still time.
No, just demolishing everything under the guise
No.
of saving it.
Just the bank.
That wasn't
You're kinda
demolished. It was just kind of deleted.
Hmm.
Kind of a just pop.
All right. So you head right back into the town. What is everybody else doing?
I knew he's gonna try going by any kind of magic area in town. I don't know, the residential district of the gnomes. I don't know. He heard of this awesome stick, and he's gonna look for it.
All right. There does seem to be a small, not necessarily a camp, but a few people waiting for a train to take them towards any different direction that they came from. So you can kind of look through some of the travelers and see if they've got anything interesting. Go ahead. Why am I in this section of the book? I didn't want to be here. Go ahead. I believe this is going to be an investigation check, I think.
Investigation.
Yes, I believe so. Or actually, sorry. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Great. Oh, okay, great.
All right.
8.
And the item that you're looking for was very rare, correct?
Yes.
All right. Well, you would not be able to find that one. However, you would be able to find a handful of things that would be considered rare.
So what are the wares that I may peruse?
Where's my tables button?
It's over on the right.
I clicked on it. I'm just messing with you, you know.
Yeah, I just want to help out, you know. Got Ray.
Go ahead and roll a d4 for me.
4.
Ooh.
I think that's pretty good.
What is that spell? Excuse me? Oh!
What is it, Dova?
Something neat happened? I feel like it did.
So,
You've got
as
influence,
you're
Dova.
kind of talking to him, you come across an extraordinarily ordinary looking man. And off in the distance, you actually see one of the lightning rails slowly start to approach. In the middle of your conversation, kind of making a little bit of small talk, you almost sort of just sort of discount him as just a normal traveler, but just before seeing a very unnatural feeling sort of aura pass over. As you know that scene in like Into the Spider-Verse where they like have the Spidey sense and you kind of realize you basically realize that he might also be a necromancer and a particularly potent one at that. But as the crowd around you kind of filters and starts getting to the platform and getting on the train to leave, he offers you a chance to purchase one of his spells. One that he very much recognizes the usefulness of, and that is a scroll of magic jar.
So basically, one of the steps into becoming a lich.
Pretty much.
What is it?
Go ahead and roll
magic jar.
2d10 for me.
A magic charm?
Jar.
Magic jar.
Oh, that's rough. The lowest you're able to persuade him down to is 14,000 Galifars. But basically, it's a way to make a clone of yourself. And should you die, you basically your soul just moves to the new body. That's essentially what you understand as he tells it to you.
Said 1,400?
14,000.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah. And if you're trying to talk, Ray, I can't hear you.
I was just pulling something up, so it's probably a lot of ramblings onto myself. My incoherent
Gotcha.
things in the universe. Alright.
Gotcha.
Wrong character. Don't do that. I was thinking about upselling the sending stone, but that's not what a noon does.
Dova, you see the influence?
I do.
All right.
Still thinking.
See,
Funk.
I want to try bartering with this guy. I've got 2 potions. I have a potion of gaseous form and a potion of superior healing, which are both a pretty penny.
How much does it say that those two are worth
I think they're up to, I guess, it's up to 5 grand.
for each of them?
Yeah.
Where's it in your... Where is it in your inventory? Is it kind of near the top?
Yeah, the superior healing is at the top, and then the other one, I'll put it next to there. Hold on. They should be together now.
Gotcha.
Still have 40 doses of ghost sight.
Hmm.
I should do something about it.
Hmm. Go ahead and give me another persuasion check.
Alright, so here's the thing. I have these 2 potions here. But what you didn't know is that they're really good.
Ooh.
Oh,
There. Can we stop that?
He'll give you the equivalent of 1,000 Galifars for each.
Oof. I have the 22. Enough though. Yeah, I don't think I have anywhere close enough to that. How much are the platinums are worth? 100?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I only have about 4,500. This is unfortunate. Is the guy like getting on the train, or did he just what's his status?
He appears to be a little bit impatient. He's looking towards the train and trying to finish up the conversation as quickly as possible. But you have no doubt in your mind that he seems to be the guy who just cut something off right and just walk on the train whenever he feels as if he's done.
I'm gonna ask him if there's. I'm just gonna plainly tell him the money situation and ask if there's anything else that he would like.
Kind of looks at you for a moment as he kind of mutters an incantation beneath his breath, and you can see a little a flare of magical energy in his irises. Irises.
Iris.
Both irises. As he kind of looks you up and down, kind of looks carefully over at your things and at everything that you have, and just kind of shrugs and says, "I don't believe so. In a position such as mine, I prefer to trade only in liquid wealth, as it were."
Liquid wealth.
I'm sure he needs money, not items.
Yeah.
Not like alcohol or anything.
Liquid assets. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna. What?
That.
I'm gonna thank him for his time then.
All right.
And have to head out.
He gives a nod and heads off on the train.
It is unfortunate, and I knew it'll make his way back.
All right.
Actually, what did we get from that bounty?
You head off to the constable's office, and the two of you, Sinel and Enun, are pleased to find out that it was dependent that the house survive for a better payout. So you basically get half of it, so 250 Galifar. Or 125 each.
I wasn't that
Okay.
worried about the reward, so I'll take what I can get.
All right. See.
I was unaware of this spell, but I'm a fan of it.
Mhm.
Oh, and also I also can't cast it for a while, so
Yeah, it is 6th level, and it is
Just
not
got
the one I
first.
was actually thinking of. I was thinking of Clone, I believe.
Oh,
yeah,
I thought it
because
was
Magic Jar is freaking rad. That's actually glad I know about that now.
Ray, I think
ever
you are
think of-
coming through on 2 microphones randomly.
probably no. I see that now.
There you go. That sounds a lot better.
The setup's a pain in the ass.
Ah. Um. You do see that there is a house for sale.
Clone is a level 8 spell, Dova. What the hell?
I was thinking of something else.
Were you thinking of what's the word? It's not doppelganger. It's like a simulacrum. What do you think of simulacrum?
Something like that, I think.
Delayed blast fireball. That sounds cool.
It does sound pretty cool. So, Roslyn, what are you doing?
Dusty, my boy.
Me.
I am led to believe that you have a way of contacting that shady merchant that keeps seeming to bump in.
I have an envelope, yes.
Cool. See if you could contact him and mention that we have buckets of change.
Are we looking to buy something or?
Yeah, I'm looking
Convert?
to buy that. You remember he had a hammer that you could throw and retrieve.
Okay, how much was it?
That's a great question.
I can't remember.
Insert this many Gallifars.
It was 5 Gallifers.
I think there was a 5 in it.
I'd have to lie a lot, but
I think
maybe
there
I
were-
can wing it.
I think there were 5 digits there.
It was definitely a hefty sum.
It was $50.
Hey, hold on. How did I get 2,180 Gallifars?
Because some of us added the money last session, and then Dova shoved it all into our player sheets this time too.
I mean,
I had to subtract it.
Did you divide 13,000 by 6 when you added the money?
I don't think it was 13,000. I think it was. I'm trying to see where I was at, or maybe it was. Oh yeah, it was. Okay. Yeah, because I ended up with 22 platinum pieces. Because I had like 100 Galifar. No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Where
I
did
didn't
this
have
much
this
come
many
from?
Gallifars last time.
You all got 1,857 from.
No, I see it.
From the banknotes.
Okay, I guess I do now. Okay.
No, this is right. So I must have had like 300 Galifars or something already saved up. So
Sounds about right.
just the platinum gets it
All right.
sort of confusing. Let's see.
Okay, I guess I do have money. Okay.
Hey, Dova,
Yeah.
can I take a moment to try to look for magic items as a new?
I guess you could have done that probably with him.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'd say you
Good
could
point.
probably do it. So which are you looking for? Any in particular?
Not at the moment. I might look for something specific once we get to a bigger city.
All right. Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll. Wow, exactly the same. Go ahead and give me a D4.
At that number.
Good lord.
I mean, it's great if it's an awesome item, but if it's so good I can't afford it, then what's the point?
That's a lot of dice.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell those do. I don't know if it's scaring me or arousing me.
Hold on. You are. Well,
I'm
actually, you are an adult.
I'm scared.
That's a bit out of your price range. Yeah, they are all out of your price range.
Well,
the
that's
lowest that they are is 5,000.
Yeah, these wandering salesmen are so expensive.
I know, right? It was actually that one guy. You actually caught him earlier, Yuk.
Oh.
But the items are still out of everyone's price range. It was a potion of flying, a potion of supreme healing, a scroll of transport via plants, and a potion of flying.
It's okay, those are all useless.
Plant stride.
I mean, when I'm walking on grass, I'm doing the same thing, you know?
I'm not walking, the plants are just slowly carrying me across the grass.
Yeah. That's a level 6.
I thought that's what it was called. No?
Plant stride? I think it's a different
I
one.
cast walk along grass.
Transport via plants. Yeah, that's. Oh, tree stride. Okay, it's right there.
Oh. Well, there you go.
I'm not crazy. Stop making fun of me.
So,
I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
I'm not stupid.
As Dusty and Rosalind, as you're kind of discussing kind of how to summon Jeeves, there's a small sound of a donkey kind of braying as from around the corner, kind of just trundling up the road, is a very familiar man up atop a very fancy, fully covered wagon. He kind of just reaches up and tips his hat as he casually rolls up. I heard you had plenty of gold on hand.
Hi, mister.
Hello, Dusty.
Yay, it's me.
How are your bracelets holding up?
They're doing great.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Well, Mother Squirrel wants things.
Mm-hmm. What kind of things do you want?
That special hammer you.
Ah. As he kind of hops off and goes around to the back and goes into the back, and you can kind of see the suspension kind of bobbing a bit as he kind of rummages through all the various piles of junk and magical items and just all sorts of crap.
Rosalind's still just mouthing, how does he do that?
Also, Reeves.
Oh, for real? It's been a while.
Nah, it's Jeeves now.
It's Jeeves now. This is actually the Jeeves of Ask Jeeves.
I was about to say that. Gotta ask Jeeves.
Yeah. After a little while, he hauls out a fairly stout-looking hammer. It looks fairly simple on the surface, but it's made entirely of a quite light, but still quite tough metal. And he seems to be holding it quite easily. as he kind of holds it out with both hands towards Rosalind. I believe this would be the one that you were speaking of, correct?
Yeah. May I? I'll just hold my hand.
Perfect. Yes. It's all right if you grab it. Frankly, I can just pull it back whenever I like.
Okay. I'll sort of take it, weigh it in my hand to begin with, like balancing its head on my palm.
Mm-hmm. It feels very well balanced. It's about the size of a normal warhammer, maybe a little bit shorter.
I mean, shorter is fine for me. I'm a bit on the short side.
Oh yeah. But you can feel a little bit of kind of warmth from the metal, indicating that it is indeed a magic weapon. It is a +1 warhammer, and as a bonus action to your hand. But it has a thrown range of 20 feet with a long range of 60 feet. When you hit with a ranged attack, it'll deal an extra 1d8 damage.
Huh. Certainly beats the hell out of throwing axes.
That's the goal of it. Of course, such efficacy doesn't come with a high price tag. This one in particular would need about 1,800 gold pieces.
What's a gold?
So,
You're
well,
still
you know,
fine.
little gold coins.
You're still fine with exchanging Galifars into gold, right?
Yes. They're about the same weight, it turns out.
Yeah, I think I'll take it. I'm just pondering if there's anything else I can grab off you while you're here.
Well, I can make some offers, but as far as exact items, I do believe that that you would know best. I can make suggestions.
Something. Well, I've only been on like regular armor. To go with, so something a bit sturdier might be nice.
Some enchanted armor, you say?
Yeah, either enchanted or just made out of a more sturdier metal than, iron.
I suppose that's a good thing to have. What armor are you wearing right now?
Basically half plate, because I'm allowed to wear medium armor and rage.
All right. Just going to copy the text from this one real quick. Apparently I can't. Well, there's always adamantine or mithril plate or mithril armor. I suppose for someone in need of light armor, mithril might be better. It does muffle quite a bit of the sound. Especially for someone as questionably stealthy as warriors might be. No offense meant. But a suit of half plate for your size and fitted properly. I think should be 400 Galifars.
Wow, that's the steal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Very well. And
Dusty's-
with a very little time in the back, he actually kind of backs out for a moment, steps down, and takes a few measurements before heading back in.
Yeah, I was mentioned.
And
Is there anything you want while he's here?
I had an idea, but I don't know if he has. See, I read this book once about when I was little about something called like a blade, and I really want it, but I don't know how.
about a what?
Blade flesh. Dusty's describing a spell that he doesn't know the name of.
Oh.
See, in children's books, they give fancy attacks special names that sound cool, but are not the actual name. You know, because that knowledge is on a like need to know basis.
Mm-hmm. I get you. Let's see, mithril half plate. All right, went ahead and added that to your inventory. The half plate, at least. Go ahead and identify it. You go ahead and subtract the 1,800 as well as the 400, as I'm going to add the warhammer as well.
And Sindel come by.
Yeah.
Cool.
No.
Well, too bad. Suppose I should switch us over to the shopping.
Is there a shopping soundtrack?
That's what playing.
Oh.
Mostly just remixes from a bunch of different, well, it's not a very long one.
Gotcha. Is it just the me channel over and over?
No, there's a pork rind shop from Cuphead, which is playing right now. There's the market
Gotcha.
theme from Neverwinter Nights.
Wii Shop channel.
2 different remixes of the Hyrule Market theme. And then there's the Deltarune Hip Shop.
Mm. All right. Sorry, I'm editing some stuff in the actual magic item. And it should work fine. So, you know, no pressures at all. Zerth, you doing anything?
Probably trying to what I messaged you.
I gotta check that again. I do not see it. Oh no, I do see it. I don't believe that you would actually be able to find them here.
Okay. If that's the case, I guess I'll spend my downtime, you know, looking for work, essentially.
Okay.
You know, escort, bodyguards, somebody needs on-hand violent cleric. I mean, holy cleric.
What's called a
With the
specialist
uptick in
cleric.
business from some of the soldiers passing through, the tavern has enlisted, has put out a little call for a bouncer, basically someone to stand out front and deal with unruly patrons. You'll be paid in food as well as lodging for the night, in addition to 1 Galifar per night.
Sounds good to me.
All right. But except for the odd, very, very drunken, unruly patron, you really don't have any troubles keeping the order as the night passes. You're very, in fact, you don't even lay a hand on anyone. You're just that good, you know?
I'm just very good at my job.
Yeah.
Smoking a cigar out front of a building.
Looking very tall and intimidating.
Probably as big as the door frame.
Yeah, you're pretty dang big. But Sinel, I think you wanted to try to buy something from Greaves?
Yes, he is interested in possibly replacing his short spears as well as his armor.
Mm-hmm.
And DeSoto's armor would be a good thing to replace as well.
Well, I can see about doing something for your armor. But as far as DeSoto's, he looks down and there's still a little bit of blood around his mouth. I'm not sure that I have the experience from dealing with beast armors as far as enchanted stuff is concerned.
All right.
But for a fairly low price, I can outfit you with enhanced armors.
Oh, yes.
Mechanically, the +1.
I would be very interested, yes.
Very well. What kind of armor do you have?
Studded leather. And honestly, I might as well just stick with it.
All right.
Because, you know,
Let's see.
that's the best level of armor I've got available.
Well,
medium armor
for
has a
studded
max
leather
of
of that
2 and-
size, I would cost about, for me to make a profit, about 1,600. Actually, now that I think about it, with the ongoing shortage, about 2,400.
All right, I think I'll just stick with what I've got.
Very well. Oh, I did receive something in the mail today. I believe it was addressed to you.
Me?
Rummages around in one of the nearby strong boxes. Not that. Ah, here we are. And it looks like a small parcel bulged out with a handful of small objects inside. To Sinel Kaya. Yeah, this is for you. I charged them for actually taking the letter, so no charge is needed to accept it. So here you are. As he hands you the parcel.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
But the person who wanted me to give you that specifically wanted to remain anonymous. But I hope that you would know who he is. At least that's sort of the feeling that I've got.
Well, okay. He's gonna open it.
All right. It's at that point that he'd start kind of wrapping everything up, and the carriage sort of starts to rumble away as he waves over his shoulder and just kind of yelling back, saying, "I believe you'll know where to find me."
Blade Flash.
Oh, sorry. Blade Flash. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I was about to ask if a new Reeves is around.
You probably would.
It's
Okay.
it's where the dog it's where the guy with his animal companion like swings his sword and then vanishes, and like several people fall over and he reappears. It's Blade Flash.
I'm still not. I still don't know what you're saying. I'm gonna admit, in
frustrated,
and
but
out of
does-
character.
He seems frustrated, but he does not know to better describe the soul that he does not know most.
Inun, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Okay. Oh, that's okay. 29.
Okay, you know exactly.
What spell are you talking about?
Steel Wind.
Steel Wind Strike.
I believe it's a level 5 and wizard.
Right.
You believe it's a what?
Level 5 ranger spell.
There are no level 5 ranger spells.
Yeah, there are. There's Commune with Nature, Conjure Volley, Swift Quiver, and Tree Stride.
Right. I don't know why I was thinking they only went up to level 4.
That's Arcane Trickster, isn't it?
I'm looking at the ranger spells right now, at least in the player's handbook.
What spell is it?
Well, it's called Steel Wind Strike. It's been forever since I looked at it, but I believe
it's in Xanathar. Oh, that's a cool spell.
Yeah, it's called Blade Flash in the story he read because it was so anime.
Oh my gosh, that is an anime attack.
Yeah, and so they gave it a cool ass name, Blade Flash.
Holy crap. That's strong.
My hamster is getting antsy.
Xanathars?
If we be adventurers, let us adventure.
6d10 times 5.
Oh, lovely, Jaffer. Welcome.
Up to 5. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, holy crap.
What was the spell called?
Steel Wind
Steel
Strike.
Wind Strike. It's essentially when, in an anime, when the character looks like he just draws the sword and puts it back, and then everyone falls in half. At least is what I'm assuming.
And you can teleport to an unoccupied space you can see within 5 feet of one of the targets.
Yeah,
So
it's basically draw your sword, vanish, and everyone dies as you.
Why is it called Steel Wind Strike? It should be just called Anime Slash, because that's what that is.
That's actually bananas.
Dusty only
That-
knows of it as Blade Flash, though.
And that's Wizard? Excuse me?
Yeah, Wizards can get
Wizards on there.
I'd assume that's for the War Mage The War Mage archetype that was added in Xanathars.
No, it's an option.
Well, yeah, but that's why Wizard has access to it. Specifically designed to give the War Mage something.
Yeah, War Magic is the new thing it adds.
I don't know if War Magic actually gives him a bonus to actually hit, though. Especially with a melee attack. The War Magic one's based mostly on like defense and like abjuration stuff.
Oh yeah, this is a lot of AC stuff. Huh.
This looks like it's something that you can only cast on yourself, too.
I need to remember to look in the other books when I'm picking spells.
There's some good stuff in here.
I have them all loaded. It took a while.
I mean, Sinnoh's got Zephyr Strike, which is kind of like a first level version of it. I've used it a few times.
Hold on, can I whisper links?
Probably.
Probably try.
It's not working. Yark, that's for you. Because it's basically what you'd be looking for.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dova, I'm assuming that you're saying no to the first influence?
The first influence is exactly actually what's inside the envelope.
Oh.
As they kind of the little bright red crystal shards in your hand. They look faintly like dragon shards, but they're orange.
And it was just one big one.
They look faintly like a dragon shard, but they're I don't know. They feel kind of soft in a way. And that one's
Likely
accepted,
malleable.
by the way. Yeah. But you were looking for Steelwind Strike. He would offer up the spell scroll for 1,400 Galifars.
Dusty is excited to take it, but then realizes this is not on a magic item and therefore he cannot use it. But, I mean, at least he has it. The legendary spell, Blade Flash, but why does he call it Steel Strike?
Again, I mean, it's not Blade, it's Blade Flash.
Yay!
Still though, 1,400.
He looks at his funds and then looks and says, "Does anyone else need my money?"
I'm not around to say anything.
Okay. 1,400 seems perfectly reasonable to him.
Anun's gonna.
Rosalind's there. She could probably tell him no to do.
I'm too busy throwing my hammer and catching it.
It
Alright.
works really well, and it makes this like crazy ringing sound whenever it comes back to your hand.
Oh boy, when the monk
You
spends
do-
money on a spell scroll, what does
You
the
do
world come
accidentally
to?
like stub your finger pretty hard on it when it returns one time, and you shake your hand off.
Dova, did
But otherwise,
you
it
see
works
my
really
other
well.
message I sent you?
I did.
Okay.
I'm figuring out an item for that, but
Okay.
you will get that.
Yes,
some point.
Yes, he will. Dusty is buying this.
You're buying it, all right?
Okay.
Scroll 5th level. It's not in these, which kind of annoys me.
Alright, I'll subtract the money.
Yep, 1,400. I'm just going to add the item raw.
This item is raw.
Dusty, mind if I get a look at that scroll later?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, we could see it in action.
Steve's initial goal was step 1, buy Bracer's Defense. 2, find some way to add the spell to Bracer's Defense. However, then Yark told him that putting multiple enchantments,
Yeah, it could be dangerous.
so he'll have to think of something else.
Hey, Dova.
Yeah.
So this thing would probably be a little out of my price range. Also, it's just kind of okay. Could I try to find a boots of levitation, which are surprisingly only rare?
You could see if Greaves has it.
I'll do that.
All right. It appears that he does. The little price tag on it, he reads it and says 3K GP. So probably a little bit expensive.
I'm gonna start taking things out of my bag to see if he'd like it.
Okay.
I've got this potion, and I take out the adult enhancement potion. I don't really know what it does. It enhances something. And he goes back to looking through his stuff.
Did I put a value on that? I did not. It doesn't seem that he's interested in that potion. He might have a little bit of interest in that in the drift globe, but not really anything else.
I know, I sold a lot of my previous stuff last time already. I'm just honestly about 1,000 away.
Can I interest you in a crystal apple?
A crystal apple?
Yes.
I don't suppose I'd be averse to buying something like that. Well, it's not very magical, so I suppose I could part with a handful of gold pieces. How about 70?
Steve looks at his cool crystal apple from the caverns and then looks back at Tab. What if... Oh wait, hold on. Yark's got the funny propeller hat. Dusty gave it to Yark. Boy, that's still in my inventory. Did I?
York, is that propeller hat in your inventory?
Not in my inventory.
Oh, I thought I gave it to you for some reason because it was a wonderful hat and that you want. Perhaps I was mistaken.
I can't remember who that was for because I know that was an influence item. But that's up to you who gets it.
It was supposed to be for Yark. I remember Yark getting it, whether or not he noted it down.
Yeah, I believe I grabbed it and I was going to give it to you because a goblin wanted it back, but he did not get it.
Right.
Oh well. I shall accept selling the crystal.
Thank you.
All right. Go ahead and delete the crystal and add 70 gold.
Okay.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, change my gold value.
So I'm rereading the levitate spell. You can't actually move to any side magically, right? Just up.
Pretty much. It pretty much brings you above the ground, and I think you can move at your movement speed. Just a slight distance above the ground, but you can't actually cross gaps with it or anything.
I see. Okay.
But it looks very menacing. Especially for someone with like long flowing robes. Especially when combined with a I think it's a cape of
Billowing?
yeah, cape of billowing.
Man,
it's a
if
great combination.
If I were more of a mage and less of an artificer, I'd totally go for that combination.
All you need to actually do is levitate and then T-pose menacingly.
And float towards them.
Eric, you said you were like 1,000 gold away.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm not sure how helpful an item like that would be if you can't really move with it.
Oh, okay, because I am now ready to cover that 1,000.
You keep cutting in and out, Dusty.
I am ready to cover that last 1,000. If you want to continue, just.
Oh, I want to actually ask him a quick question since he seems really smart, and I'll tell him that. I'll say, since you seem really smart, can I ask you?
I don't see why not.
It's about my dragon, and he pulls out the dragon in a protective glass sphere. I think he's hibernating. Do you know? Do you know how big he might get?
As far as that species goes, I'm not familiar how they work here, but where I'm from, things like that don't tend to grow very much. So I suppose it would be this similar size for the rest of its life. That might get a little bit bigger.
It's adorable.
But it does seem like it'll wake relatively soon. Maybe another month or so, as soon as it starts getting warm.
That's exciting.
So, is there anything else?
There's one. How much gold did I make from bouncing?
1.
1.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I mean, it's only one day.
I'm gonna reinvest that.
You're gonna spend your night at the tavern?
I'm gonna spend my night in town, and I'm gonna buy one thing.
What are you gonna buy?
I'm gonna buy block and tackle.
All right, go ahead and add that to your inventory.
Anute has been patiently waiting for Greaves.
Sorry.
I guess I should get rid of the banknote I have in my inventory.
That's a good idea. Since you did do that. Anune.
You could have gotten more money.
Hello, my good sir. What sort of magical wares do you have for a mage?
Well, I have lots of things. Lots and lots and lots of things, really. Quite a few spells from these lands and beyond. Cloaks and staffs and wands and all sorts of things. I'm afraid you're going to have to narrow it down a bit.
I'm looking for more equipment rather than spells. Maybe towards the rare range.
If I had to if I had to list it on a scale of common to legendary, I'd say the very
common
rare.
Eberron, that's sort of a thing.
Yeah, that's fairly a thing.
I didn't say it was in the rare magic item category.
Well, he has he kind of unfurls a large robe with lots of eye patterns on it. I have this. I don't know if it'll specifically benefit you, but you'll be able to see in all directions at once.
Directions.
Yeah. As he brings out a robe of eyes.
Yes, Anun has an aversion to other robes.
Very well.
He's gonna ignore those. He's gonna pass. I need to have my own. I wear my own brand.
Of course, of course. Let me see.
About rings.
Well, we have plenty of rings. I've got some rings of a ring of free action. I've also got a ring of mind shielding.
You have a ring of invisibility?
I suppose I do have a ring of invisibility. Please ignore the whispering, but I think it would be a bit above your price range. This one cost me about 70,000 to acquire, so.
Oof.
How about any spell storage rings?
Spell storage. I do have one of them, but it is an artisan make, so it would cost 4,500.
Oofta.
Yeah, same.
All right. Well.
Hey, dude, do you have a potion that would let me pick the Beastmaster archetype for the Artificer instead of the Artillerist? Because right now I'm kind of feeling.
You want to respec?
Does Jeeves have an ability capsule?
Is there a mirror you can look into?
Ah, shoot! Hold on, that's a pre-purchase only thing. I can't get that yet.
Yeah, no, that's actual. You need like $5.99.
No,
Ooh, that's actually.
I'm sorry. That one specifically is in adamantium coins.
Specifically,
I don't know. Those aren't available in game.
You can only purchase those with the Hearts of Demons.
Yes.
Approximately 3 demon hearts.
Yep, it costs 300 of those coins to respec. And I only sell them in bundles of 1, 5, and 10,000.
For one, you're really indecisive.
But the 10,000, boy, what a value.
The most popular deal.
We're getting too far into meta here. We need to stop. I need to stop.
The price of 10,000.
Yeah. What was the other thing that not the ring of spell storing? What was the other thing that you were looking for?
Oh, the Rod of Absorption.
Oh no, you would not have that. Not at your price range, at least.
You got a ring.
I think so.
You got a ring of turning.
I don't think so at the moment. No.
Although I think that's also pretty very.
That one's also I think that's more than very rare.
I'm gonna offer him the my potion of gaseous form and see if he's interested.
Well, that's got some fairly good value associated with it. I suppose I could give you a value of about 1,800 in trade-in value.
1,800.
Yeah.
Alright. And how much was the ring?
Of what?
Spell storing.
Spell storing. I believe that was 4,600.
Oh, it was 46.
45. Sorry.
Does that add up?
I don't believe so. No.
Let me see. How much was the potion worth?
1,800. I believe you guys also have a stone that you still haven't identified. I think that's in Sinno's inventory.
Oh, I was about to ask him about that. That's the one that we found on the wall, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna tell Sentinel to take it out.
I will.
All right. He looks at it for a few moments and just kind of nods and kind of laughs a little bit and says, "Well, if you're looking for spell storage, I believe that this thing will give it to you. It's an Ion stone.
Ooh, that's a good.
The reserve stone lets you store some spells inside.
Ion stone for spelling. Oh, okay. That's really funny because I was actually about to do some kind of roleplay with the stone. Okay. I will. Thank you, sir. Are you still interested in purchasing this, though?
Not for straight exchange. Actually, I suppose I'd be able to give you perhaps 1,000.
I think I'll hold on to it for now. We have a party member that might have some interest in it, but thank you for your offer.
If there's nothing else, then I'm afraid I must be on my way. I've got a few more patrons to serve before the day is done.
He's gonna nod and take a step back.
All right. The carriage finally rumbles away, goes around the corner, and you don't see it anymore.
I'm gonna grab the Ion Stone.
All right.
Loot.
I believe it's in Sinno's inventory. Would you give it to Inun?
Yeah.
All right. But you haven't identified it yourself, so it would still show up as a stone prism. But Yark would also hear that explanation of it as well.
I'll start the ritual.
All right. I suppose at this point you guys would be getting fairly hungry. But walking around, you'd see that the tavern is pretty much the only place in the town. The tavern itself is named the Pilgrim and Wand, and seems to be a fairly kind of does everything. There's a little booth in the store that kind of connects the outside street that sells various supplies, and it almost kind of looks like a gift shop how it's set up. But it's got a handful of useful supplies. The tavern itself has a variety of various hunting trophies kind of festooning the walls, some decorative and possibly well-used weapons. Also mounted kind of, there's two swords above the door. There's a very large axe kind of in the middle of the wall, just above kind of head height. But kind of settling in there, you find a table and start to perform the. All right. The food here it's very hearty. While it is simple, a kind of very grainy, but very healthy feeling or healthy tasting loaf of bread, along with an overcooked stew that kind of tastes pretty much all the same, with kind of mushy vegetables and but sizable chunks of meat, which you think to be venison. But yeah, after a little while, you'd finish up your identification, and you would come out with that.
Let me see. Ooh. Purple prism. I like that. Okay.
Give me 1 sec. But you guys can continue. I'm just looking up something real quick.
So he's just looking at his spell scroll. He's super happy to have it, even if he's starting to understand that he can't use it. Because he can't
wait for the
cast magic.
It does feel really cool holding it.
Yeah, he knows he's got blade, and that's good enough.
I like the hypothetical situation of a Noon doing 6d10 worth of damage with a quarterstaff.
It's ridiculous.
Dusty has wanted it ever since he heard it in the books.
Just for
And
this
now
moment,
he does.
Just for this moment, he pulls his staff a little bit, and you see a blade just like in it, like the staff of the sheath the whole time, but only for that moment. It was never like that.
I like those hidden umbrellas.
Exactly.
All right.
How many
hey, Dova.
spells are already on this?
So, inside is a single spell, a a 3rd level blink.
Oh. Note of that.
What were you saying, York?
I was looking frantically for magic items before he left, but I couldn't think of anything. But now, do you think it's an uncommon one? So do you think I could find a ring of jumping? Just
jumping.
It lets you cast jump on yourself as a bonus action.
All right, I'd say you could find one while you were harassing the people at the train stop. You could find one for 250.
This guy was just wearing it. Hey,
he's just like, fine, go away.
Oh my god,
throws it at
you're gonna make me late to my.
Ah, freaking kobold, get away from me.
Guys, I bought a fancy magic. How much was it, Dova? 200?
250.
Thank you.
And then Anun will start or begin to copy over the Steel Strike.
All right. In copying a spell scroll, I believe it is destroyed.
Correct.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Would Dusty be all right with that? Unless Anun just does not tell him, because Dusty would not know that it gets consumed.
I'm gonna tell Dusty that the actual paper's gonna go away, but he'll get to actually see the spell in real life, not just in the story.
Yeah, but will you be able to use that on him?
I mean, not necessarily. The best case scenario is he gets to see it in action, like in person, not just in a story. So if Anun's using it on himself, he's hoping that that'll still hold him over if he can't cast it on Dusty.
Yeah, because honestly, if Dusty thinks about it a little more and think he's never gonna be able to put this piece of equipment. But Anun has always somehow been in melee range and taken up really fast. This will give him some more clout.
Oh, wait a minute. That's a melee spell attack. Oh, God.
Yes.
Yes.
No, yeah, yeah.
I missed that part.
Yeah, that's the wackiness of me using a quarterstaff to do 60 10 times 5.
High speed whack.
I mean, thank God it's a 5th level spell, not like a 3rd level. I think I'd lose my mind if it was a 3rd level.
Oh, if it was 3rd level, that would just be absurd.
I searched it, and the first result was balance ?
That seems appropriate.
That's pretty funny.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's kind of situational, I guess.
Yeah, especially for the issue with the noon is keeping that prepared.
Mm-hmm.
That's the huge cluster that he's dealing with. Because I have some melee ones like Vampiric Strike. I think that's what it's called. It's something vampire. It's a melee attack.
All right. So, would you be keeping the stone?
The Ion Stone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that needs attunement. Yeah, it requires attunement.
Okay, well, I know I'm attuned to my wand. I don't know if my robes needed attunement.
I don't think your robes did, no.
Okay, and then just the bags of holding. Yeah, the only thing I'm attuned to is the wand.
All right. So that's a 5th level. So I'm sure you have all the math required for that on hand.
Yeah, I need to go do that real quick.
It's not your School of Magic, so you won't get any bonus in it since it's a conjuration. So I think that's just straight raw,
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a little bit expensive.
Conjuration. Ugh. The sigils are so annoying. The penmanship that you need for them, I'm not used to it. It's the necromantic sigils are way easier. There's just all fluid motions. Conjuration, there's just so many individual lines.
It's random. All the lines just come from nowhere.
I'm sure it's not random. I just haven't wrapped my head around it yet.
Yeah, something that you're missing. As you guys are relaxing and kind of almost bedding down, you would see that there's an ad for the one of the houses being for sale. It appears to be an old, almost like a villa outside of town. But the asking price is 5,000.
Looking at a house? Are we settling down?
I mean, there's just an ad on the side of the.
Venture over. Is the manor haunted? Let's go check it out.
Hey, Zerf, want to buy a house?
We could buy a house.
Hey, Dova, can I have that ring?
That's the one thing we're missing.
Oh yeah.
He threw it at me, but apparently I had yet to pick it up.
It gets stuck on your horn.
Oh god, my arms are too small. I can't reach.
Me, Zerth and me and Rosalind can go just look at the house.
All right.
But yes, you may have the spell scroll.
Thank you. All right, it costs 250 to copy. And it's gonna
Oh,
take
that's not
10
bad at all.
hours.
Jeez.
It's not. No.
Okay,
yeah,
okay, well, the time is.
yeah. Now I'm gonna have to
Crazy
use
thing
my.
is also that it's essentially free. Also, the only component is have a weapon.
Mm-hmm. And the spell slot, though.
Oh,
I only
well,
have
yes,
one
but
level
that-
5.
but it's good though. It's a good attack.
It
And
is,
it's
yeah.
not an explosion either. Like a safer fireball.
I need to copy that over now. Ridiculous.
Sorry for the little gap here.
So,
Can't manage to find the
uh,
picture I had.
just for reference, a long jump, you cover a number of feet up to your strength score, as long as you move 10 feet immediately before the jump. Which means I can now jump a horizontal distance of 18 feet.
We're getting a lot of
not bad at all.
background noise from someone.
Sorry, my push talk. I'm trying to.
I know Discord has the new feature for noise suppression.
I have no idea how that would.
I don't think it would for stuff like that. That's more to do with like a fan in the background.
Anyway, high jump is 3 plus your strength mod. So now I can now jump a whopping 3 feet in the air because my strength mod is negative.
Ooh.
But I mean, 3 feet in the air, that's 1 foot taller. No, that's 2 feet higher.
Yeah, that's your full height and then some. So that's not bad.
Yeah, and considering I'm this small, I kind of feel the need to have some sort of additional movement. Because the ring you cast as a bonus action, assume I have it at all times unless we're in combat and I'm using my bonus action for something.
Okay. So I cannot find the actual cool map that I had. But as Zerthan, Rosalind kind of head out of town, it's about evening, and it takes about a half hour to walk there. But outside, kind of on a short hill, in the middle of a fairly sparse copse of trees, is a villa. It's got a fairly low kind of trying to think of the right word here. Compound wall outside, made of stone bricks, and the kind of well-kept outer gates are currently locked. But you can see the front of the house. There's an advertisement for actually buying it. And there's details on who to contact in town to actually purchase it, and that the initial asking price is 5,000 gold. But you can see from the outside that it's 2-story. It looks to be a traditional Brelish villa. So it's got 2 large courtyards, and you can see almost from the front. You can almost see all the way through. It looks very sparse on the inside, like all the furniture is currently gone. But there's a stable, there's a carriage house, maybe big enough to fit a single carriage, along with the stable for the horses. There is a small kind of a guard shack near the actual front entrance for maybe 1 guard to stand. And the house itself is not exactly the embodiment of splendor, but it looks solid. It looks well put together, and you can see very faintly in the low light of the evening a few reliefs on the wall. In essence, it looks like a Roman villa. That's essentially the the styling. I'm gonna see if I can't find a decent picture. But you can see that it has like a full inner courtyard with a large. It looks to be kind of a scum-covered pond. But it doesn't look like it's been taken very well care of recently.
Is the pond a pretty decent size?
You're not sure of how deep it is, but it seems to be maybe 50 feet long, 40 feet wide.
So other
It looks
than
to be built into the floor of the large opening in the roof.
So it's definitely gator width.
Yes. You reckon that you could get some good speed in it?
I could be my own monster in the moat.
Oh my god, guys! So we should buy a castle, right? And the moat leads to
These two is what?
Zareth's bedroom. And we'll keep the moat warm too.
Greatly appreciated. I look to Rosalind. It's rather large size for the price.
Yeah, I'm thinking it either needs work or there's something wrong with it. Not to say that I don't want it.
Yes.
In
it
no
is
way
very nice.
does the sign out front say it's not haunted.
Can I do like a check?
Just
for haunted.
Just seeing from out.
Can I do a ghost roll?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Wouldn't it be a religion for him?
Actually, that's true. I'd say either or, depending on how you go about it.
I will sense with my holy sensories.
It'd be religion, or
I'm too far away.
yeah. I mean, you're for sure getting ghost vibes, at least with the distance as well as why it's so cheap. Plus, these woods are kind of spooky at night.
Doesn't the cleric class have like the you can sense consecration and desecration magic?
Might be paladin.
Yeah, that's a paladin.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Yep.
That is paladin.
Rosalind, you're staring in. Your eyes just kind of dart down one of the in one of the windows that you can see, and you stare further, and nah, that might have just been a little visual artifact. It's getting kind of dark, so do you have dark vision?
Yes.
I don't.
Don't? Yeah. It's a little bit dark looking in the window, so you're thinking it might have just been nothing.
If you like, I don't mind purchasing this house. It's very nice, and I'm very, or at least let's get a hold of the seller so we can get an inside tour. I think, yeah, I think it's going to be haunted. I will be greatly disappointed if it's not.
I mean, it wouldn't be a good house if we couldn't scare off a few ghosts.
Exactly.
You got to work for it.
We can use the ghost as the guards.
The palace isn't worth it if it's not haunted.
I guess me and her are gonna set up a meeting with the quote-unquote realtor.
All right. It looks like their office would definitely be closed by now, so in the morning.
Yeah.
But you guys would spend the night most likely. It's a safe town, and it's also fairly quiet, so nothing really seems to happen during the night. But you guys wake up the next morning feeling very refreshed. Go ahead and subtract 1 Galifar for a stay at the inn, unless you want to just take the tent and go just outside the town limits. That's always an option as well.
I didn't
Would
probably
that-
do that.
Would that have counted as my free room and board day?
No, you can stay in the inn if you like.
Okay. Probably. We will probably stay in the inn.
You and Rosalind, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. You said
All
how
right.
much?
It was free for you.
For me? Okay.
But the rest of you just kind of hang out just outside of town, making a small campsite. But the guards seem to be all right with you as long as you stay away from the main road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not looking to do anything.
All right.
You crazy, we're not highwaymen. All right, but
Rest, long rest.
I mean, I want to make some moves.
Okay.
I want to buy a whip,
You want to buy a whip?
a ranged melee weapon, or a melee weapon with reach.
Okay. Oh my! I know what you're going for. But you could buy a whip from the adventuring store. You see it's kind of nestled in a cabinet next to a kind of floppy-looking leather hat. But you buy the whip for listed price in the
2 gold.
in the player handbook. Yep.
2 gold to do 6d10 damage.
I mean the minimum requirement for the weapon to use is it's worth I think it's 1 silver.
Yeah. 2 silver pieces. Or,
Oh, 2
yeah,
silver.
1 silver. No, 1 silver. That's what it was.
It's 1. Okay.
So that works. Freaking works.
Do you actually have proficiency with it?
No, I was gonna ask one of the others that has martial training to train me.
All right.
I'm just focusing on a. It's just a whip. I'm not looking for all martial weapons.
Wait, I don't have proficiency
Just
with
teach him.
nets though. I can train you with a net.
I was hoping of doing something like that. If I could do a net
Does-
or something. What's the one weapon that's still considered a weapon that does the least amount of damage, and what can I irritate
Like
people
a
with?
club
Poke him with a stick.
dart.
Oh my god, a solid gold club, definitely worth more than 2 silver pieces, 1d4.
So actually, you know what? It's can I see the crit deck, Sinal, for a melee attack?
See it?
Yeah, just draw a card for me real quick. This is one of the influences.
For a crit
I'm aware
or
this
crit
is not the
fail?
first crit fail. I'm aware this is not the
Okay.
first D20 roll. However, I think this is the funniest opportunity for it.
Sounds good to me.
So what's
As
happening?
there was an
Breathtaking.
influence to make the next D20 roll a crit fail.
Breathtaking.
Actually, I think it was
Oh,
attack
yeah,
roll specifically.
I saw that. It was a very unique influence.
So what's breathtaking?
What's up?
You cannot speak for 1d4 rounds.
So, after buying the whip, you head outside. You head towards the rather robust-looking fence just outside of, or just like at the city limits. It's a fairly plain-looking wooden fence, but you set up some rocks on it to practice using the whip. You kind of just twirl it around a few times, trying to get an idea for how to actually use it. I'd say everyone was there either just because there's nothing else to do, or maybe just to help him actually use it. but you kind of twirl it around a bit, make some kind of snapping motions, and you manage to get to snap pretty well. And you think you're kind of ready, and you set up some rocks on the fence.
Yeah, I would have
twirl it
found
around.
whichever party member could have helped me with that.
I can help too. I got proficiency in it.
Okay.
Special weapons.
Cool.
Now don't whip your eye out. Everyone whips their eye out.
Go ahead and give me an attack roll. If you would demonstrate, I assume.
I need to add it to my inventory.
Me or him?
Would you be demonstrating it right away, or would you have him just go for it?
I learn by throwing them to the wolves.
All right.
That's
So,
the kind
Enon.
of teacher I am.
Terrible.
It's efficient.
Or actually, you know what? Inun.
Yeah.
You set up. You're in a proper, nice stance. As you kind of twirl it out towards the fence, you rear back and just give it a good proper whip. And at the last moment, you pull back to snap it, and it curls around one of the rocks, and with a hearty amount of force, pulls it back with a rapid speed. Not at you, at Zerth.
Oh.
As Zerth, you kind of react a little bit slowly. The roughly fist-sized rock just crashing directly into your windpipe.
I built for meat, not for speed.
Oh, my
You
bad.
try to say that, but you just kind of cough out a little bit.
My father is old.
Are you okay?
I'm
There's
fine.
There's a couple of guards nearby who are just leaning on their spears that just go, ooh, ah. Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
rough.
I'm moving off the tail, but it's like, oh God, I think I swallowed my cigar.
Hey.
Inun, you look at his neck and you think you see a dent.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna smack Surf on the back to dislodge the cigar.
Inun, go ahead and roll damage for that whip.
Yeah. Okay. Not that bad, at least. Four.
Oh,
My max
it's bludgeoning damage, by the way.
Inhuman, how could you?
I'm so sorry. I know not my power.
I gave you my scroll. I gave you my scroll and you struck my father.
Way to go.
Anun has gained proficiency with whips.
Oh shit.
He's gonna do that thing where you like just crouch on your knees, like you get the wind knocked out of you. He's just like on all fours. It's like giving you a thumbs up. It's good. You'll be a professional before you know it. I think that's enough practice for the day.
After finally regaining your breath, you kind of leave him to continue his practicing while you go to talk with the real estate guy.
I'm doing a gator walk on all fours.
He's Earth.
Yeah.
Oh, is this a bad?
Cut
What?
out, Yark.
I said, oh, is this a bad?
What? What's up? I
Do you
think that's
remember-
what these kids say.
Do you remember how much that one guy was selling that gargoyle for?
I think it was 1,000. No. It was much less. I think it was... Because it was, I think, it was a few hundred more than Rasmus.
I think it was at about 1,000.
Yeah.
Cool.
That number
But that
is-
was the possibly statue.
hmm
I want it. I want it. Anyone else want to go with me on a trip back to the?
I mean, that'll take about a week.
Hey, Dovo, let's go back to the city. Or hey group, hey guys, let's go back to the city. Sharn is a wonderful place.
See you next week.
Charn.
So make sure to hold down the push to talk button a little bit longer, because it keeps cutting off the end of your sentences. Is Sharn what you want to do?
Definitely more stuff to do there than there's way out here.
Sinnoh will not be joining you.
You can like sit outside of Sharn or something.
Yeah, Sharn wasn't a great time.
Surf and I are buying a house.
Yark, our life is here now. What do you want to go
Oh
back
boy,
to Sharn for?
it's time to split the party.
We've moved on.
Oh wait, hey Dovo, weren't there like fixed teleportation circles or something?
Yeah, most cities have one somewhere.
Are
though,
they
Emphasis
though-
on cities.
There might be one here, but you haven't seen any dedicated buildings for it. It might be forgotten about or in somebody's private residence, and but you'd have to do a little bit of searching, maybe a little bit of paying someone to be able to use it.
But it's free for public use, right? Or at least the one in Sharn is.
The one in Sharn, yes, the one that you have in your memory is free for public use.
All right, cool.
Yeah, the city's big enough.
I'm gonna spend some time to look for that.
All right, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
A Nunala system.
Sweet.
Okay.
What's your investigation? I've got plus.
Yours might be better. Let me see. +5.
All right, I'll roll with advantage. Oof.
Nice.
Still doesn't mean there's
So-
actually one here.
It's true, but if there is, then I've got the best possible chance to find.
Turns
Even
out
or odd?
You need a fairy to pass.
Shoot. Even.
All right. After doing a lot of little bit of research through the day, you slowly almost get like a folk tale that there's one in a fairly dense region of trees to the north, maybe a 15-minute walk from the city. But it doesn't seem to be very far off the road, and there's, as far as what you hear, there's no real hazards associated with it. At least none that people know of. It's been a real long time since anybody used it. But as far as you hear, it would be above ground in sort of a ruined temple sort of situation. Lots of big stone blocks, so fairly hard to miss.
Noon. Let's go on an adventure.
Okay.
And
yeah.
as I start walking in the direction, I tell him about this.
The what?
I tell him about the story.
Which story?
All right.
The folk tale about the teleportation circle.
Oh, okay. You just mean like what you heard, your rumors?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Alright.
He'll be interested in checking that out.
All right. For
Anyone else wanna
Zerth
come?
and I mean, it's heading into the forest, and that might be your ballpark.
Yeah, I'll let Sinel know, and then I'm gonna kind of go into the forest a little bit, just at least away from those guard posts, and I'm gonna cast Animate Dead so I can get my skeletons under my control.
Okay.
Or Gaster and Osborne.
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Come. Good.
As Sinel, Inun, and Yark are kind of heading off into the forest, Inun kind of steps aside for one moment, kind of checks over his shoulder, looking towards the town. Kind of pulls open his bag, and the moment he does, a kind of mineralized skeleton hand just juts out and immediately starts strangling him.
What the fuck? I'm gonna take the drawstrings of the bag and I'm gonna pull them tight.
Okay.
So his arm's gonna be kind of flopping in and out. I'm gonna...
It seems his arm is still attached to the. You want to cut him off? Give me a strength check. As you guys would clearly see this, he kind of lets out a strangled grunt.
Well, I pulled the drawstrings. I'm trying to cut him off, but I mean, his hand's already through the opening, so it's not like I can clip through it. So he's gonna take his staff wand thing, whatever I want to call it, and just kind of beat.
give me a strength check. Yeah.
0.
Oh my god.
Somewhere Zerth is just laughing to himself.
Things are. You can't breathe. Does control undead? Does that require a vocal component?
Animate Dead.
Yeah.
Let's see. Gotta look. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yes, at the moment you are silenced.
Can I disconnect the bag from my belt and just throw it on the ground?
I'd say yes, but you run the risk of pulling the rest of him out. Since if you threw the bag away, his arm would still kind of be pulling onto your neck.
I mean, I have it cinched, so I feel like I have more. I can push off of his shoulder inside of the bag off of me than he has grip on just my throat.
Okay, give me another strength check. As you take, I'd say you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Asshole, Gaster, get the hell off me!
By the way,
Why is your skeleton being bad?
Siddle and Dusty, and Yark, you guys can help if you want.
I'd love to. I will
Okay.
cut skeleton hands to pieces.
Go ahead and roll it again.
Sinel will.
You have.
Sinel will try and chop off the arm.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah, you would definitely have advantage in it.
All right, let's see.
And DC is stellarly low. Yeah, you can. You manage to just pull him off as the arm just whips back and forth.
Gaster, you bitch.
As Sinel would manage to cut through it, it just kind of flops on the ground for a moment before going limp.
I'm gonna look at it and go, damn it, Zerth is not with us.
I'm gonna step in your bag. Is that cool?
You guys know mending? Anyone here know mending?
I'm a monk.
Stupid skeleton. It's another spell I gotta learn. I'm gonna pick up the bag, loosen the string so it can open it. I'm gonna take his arm and just throw it inside. And so
Nothing comes out to try to strangle you anymore.
I'm essentially just doing the ritual on a bag, hopefully it
Hopefully it goes through.
The undead inside.
All right. So, Zerth, Rosalind, and Blue kind of sticks around with you guys as you head into a a fairly overwhelmed city official's office. It's a half elf, a half elven man, fairly tall and lanky, with a very sort of scholarly sort of fashion sense. But his office is just overflowing with papers as he sees you and starts to bring you out to the house itself. But he seems to be carrying the keys and just keeps talking about like who owned it and all the work that's been put into renovating it and just how wonderful of a location it is, and he gives the standard sort of real estate agent shtick.
Can I do an inside check?
Go ahead.
I mean, we don't need to do an inside check to know that he is.
He's for sure selling it up, but that would tell you
spent polishing it.
Mm-hmm. But this would tell you exactly what sort of thing he is trying to polish. Just sort of going by his mannerisms, you can definitely tell that there is a catch. He's kind of dancing around some issues, especially related to the wine cellar, and doesn't go into great detail with the previous owners, but he goes like when it was built and who built it. But when it comes to who owned it last, he just talks about some city dwellers came here and bought it, but that they couldn't keep care of it.
I'll whisper to Rosalind about what I think he's dancing around, so we're both on the same page. And then go to him. What are you not telling us?
What do you mean?
This gator can smell lies, and you reek.
I have not told a single lie.
An omission of
Let's just go through the open house, and then once you
Mash the insight check button.
Doubt.
It's you slamming the table.
Bam, bam, bam.
And then you point accusingly. I know you're telling me lies.
Massive button that just says insight. You smash it with your.
It's at about this point that you guys arrive at the wrought iron gates.
It just turns into LA Noir. Just lied out.
Rosalind like slowly drains the color out of the atmosphere around her.
Does anyone feel a chill?
Every day.
Her on you. Can I help her with that?
The inside check?
The intimidation.
Oh shit! I forgot to roll it. I forgot to roll it at advantage actually because of the helm. It doesn't do it
you got the helmet on. I forgot.
There we go.
My hamster is getting antsy. If we be
Okay, I might
adventurers,
have
let us adventure.
glossed over some of the previous owners' hesitations. But trust me, you'll see the interior, you'll love it, and it'll be well worth the downsides.
Tell
Okay.
us everything.
You first. I insist.
Gladly.
Influenced Nova.
Accepted. Can I get a perception roll for both of you?
I'd love to.
Jaffer reads my mind. Skills. Give me a percent. I'm getting one from Blue as well. Okay. So Zerth doesn't hear this.
Nat 20. Blue just rolled a nat 20. Did
Blue got some big numbers. But he would hear it as well as Rosalind. From somewhere as he opens the gate. There's kind of a squeaking squeal of the hinges. It's kind of like a two-piece gate, so he pushes it open on one of the sides, and the path sort of leading in is covered in a fairly light layer of snow, but underneath it there's a little layer of kind of dead leaves as well from the previous fall. But from somewhere within, Rosalind and Blue would hear a very faint, sort of unearthly groan. Some sort of inhumane thing. Would he hear it? Zerth, you would, as Zerth and Rosalind, you would see his face go a little bit pale as he sort of moves the gate a little bit faster to create a louder sound. Kind of looks over to see judging if you've heard it.
I'm just gonna.
I will say that some of the windows they make a peculiar sound with the wind this time of year.
I'm just gonna.
It goes.
My hands on my hips, like on top of my hammers, as if I'm not impressed.
I'm just listening to the gate, full damn out. Oh, I guess I can get some oil for that and loosen up the screws.
He seems like he's trying to put it behind him as he's kind of urging you to follow along. You do notice that he's not going very far ahead of you. Now you'll notice some of the work on the roof here. He starts spouting off stuff about the house, and as you head in, Zerth especially, you'd get that funny little feeling in the back of your head. But as far as Rosalind, Blue, and the realtor are concerned, nothing seems to be particularly amiss. The estate itself, leading into the interior, the courtyard, doesn't have a door. It's just kind of a large open hallway. And on either side, you can see various frescoes and mosaics on the floor and frescoes on the wall. Very nice and refined while still remaining kind of classy, I suppose. As you head inward, you see hallways off to either side. You see quite a few doorways in the courtyard itself, leading into the sort of the outer wall of the house itself. So it's kind of in that sort of ring structure, like the picture that I sent. But you would see a few stairways leading down, but he wouldn't necessarily go down there. He'd just say there's a very spacious wine cellar, a food storage cellar, kept at a quite respectable temperature to keep food good. And in the more blustery parts of the month, the floors can be heated with a very quite high tech actually magical heater. It basically blows hot air through the floorboards. It's actually a 2-layered floorboard, and you can see that the hardwood is quite high quality, brought in from the wood of Valinar. But it's very nice.
Wouldn't hot air make the floorboards go soft eventually?
Not this kind of wood specifically. It was designed to maintain rigidity while also giving the ability to keep it heat. Mind you, it's not, a roaring furnace being pumped directly under your feet, but more of a nice warmth that, in addition to the insulation, keeps the interior space quite livable during the winter months.
Zer's gonna do what I did during the time I was looking at houses, and look straight at the basement.
As you start to head down to the basement, he just says, "Oh, I wouldn't. There might be nails on the floor, on the ground. I wouldn't go down there with bare feet."
I'm gonna insight check that, even though
Go ahead.
I know
100% lying.
Mm,
He is 100% covering something up.
Good thing you have armored scales all over.
I'm very scaly.
I'd like to see the basement as well. I'd like to see the machines that keep the floor.
I insist you lead the way since you know this house.
I insist.
He seems a little bit shaking, almost looking to Blue for any sort of like. Blue's just standing there. He has no idea what's going on.
What a shitty situation for this guy. You have two
For real.
gigantic, like, pumbling fighters, a robot, and he's a conniving, like,
He's trying to sell. He's trying to sell a haunted house.
He's just a guy.
He's in a terrible situation.
He doesn't want to be here.
Moon was
He
here.
At this point, he's being mugged.
He's being bullied.
He's actually being like bullied.
He's lucky if I fucking pay him 4,100 for this haunted piece of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, is that an offer?
Just like, why don't you go down to the basement, huh?
What happened was he got the letter of this house and he's been trying to sell it for commission and no one's buying this house. So he's trying to panhandle it as fast as he can, even though he knows, like, oh yeah, the floors bleed blood and there's bodies strewn against the wallpaper down there.
As he nods nervously, kind of taking a dry gulp as he starts to take a few steps down.
Hey, Blue, hold a lantern for us.
He kind of holds the lantern, the ever bright one, the nice one.
Yep.
As he heads down first, you can see he's looking around the corner very nervously, heading into the underfloor space, which is kind of a bunch of stone pillars in sort of a grid pattern. Between them, you can see some racks for wine, for food, but they're very empty at the moment. All the supplies haven't been taken out a while ago. But he kind of starts leading around the corner. Are you guys heading in after him?
Does the basement door creak at all?
There would not be a door. It's just a staircase leading down.
Oh.
In this section of the house, at least.
Dang.
Damn.
I mean, you could build a trap door to put over it, but you don't own this house yet.
No, I was thinking of creaking the door to just scare the shit out of the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I was trying to just lock him in the basement.
There's a door, but instead of creaking, it just screams. Whenever you open or close it.
That would be a great alarm for if anybody's trying to sneak into your house. The door just screams.
Yeah.
So you Hitchhiker's Guide where it's size.
We I just imagine
it moans.
I just imagine this guy is just scared shitless, and Zerth and Rosalind are just like, this is just a new day. Like, we just went through a hell dungeon ourselves. This is nothing.
Don't forget that the ghosts that were attacking Craig, I fucking intimidated them into shutting up for 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, let's head down.
Yeah, we'll follow him.
All right. Heading down, it seems to be a fairly normal basement, but Zerth still has that feeling in the back of his head, that kind of little fuzzy feeling that alerts him to the fact that something fucky is about.
Oh no, he made a fucky walk.
I'm gonna...
Fuck you, I hate that. I hate that so much.
My name is Dr. Samuel Hayden. We made it lucky.
I do, dude, because I had. I say do farted because I had no choice. Something like that.
Zer's just kind of like looking, but he's like kind of keep a side eye for like moving shadows, spooky things, and like he's just gonna like prepare himself in case of something, try to jump out and or attack him or something.
All right.
But still making me like, oh, this is normal.
You start making your way through the bottom of the house, and you see there's a handful of these what looks to be clay sort of segmented pipes, and you can hear a little bit of air running through it, although it seems to be just kind of cool air as you reach up and touch your hand to it, and it feels cold to the touch. But those would seem to be the heating pipes. Making your way further down, you'd see a handful of rooms that kind of go very kind of thinly into the walls. As in, there's not much depth to the rooms. It's maybe a small broom closet or a lockable cellar room, just for maybe more valuable things. But it seems to be stripped out, other than some of the doors on these little rooms. As you kind of reach a certain point, he seems kind of relaxed, a little bit more relaxed, at least.
Influenced over?
Accepted. This is a perfect point, too.
I swear to God, if someone bursts a pipe in my potential new house, I am going to flip the chat table.
Can I sneak up behind him and just put my hand on his shoulder?
Sure.
Alright,
As you go ahead and give me a stealth check, actually.
Yeah, I actually have advantage.
You have advantage on stealth checks? Why?
The cloak I have.
It's a cloak of Elvenkind, I think.
And I have mithril armor, so it shouldn't have given me disadvantage.
You got an advantage for it, so as you don't really need much to freak him out, but he kind of turns the corner as you kind of head into the back straight of the house. You can see there's a red glow of something. Actually, no, it would be completely dark. But you can kind of hear some hum of something. But it's fairly a low drone that you'd associate with perhaps some gears or a sort of arcane machinery. But he kind of looks and says, he kind of mumbles something that you might hear as, "Oh, it's very calm today." You reach forward and just place your hand on his shoulder, and he kind of jumps and turns around, and you hear a scream. But
I'm gonna cock an eyebrow.
Rosalind, Zerth, and Blue wouldn't, but you two would notice his mouth is not open, and he almost hears the scream as well, and tries to turn and see where it comes from, but it's from all around you. And it is almost like the wail of a banshee.
Oh, for
piercing
crying out loud.
and ethereal. But as soon as it starts, it stops.
I don't hear that, did I? Or do I assume that's from him?
You would probably assume it's from him.
Why so jumpy, my friend? It is just a basement.
He's reaching for like a small tiny pen knife he has on his belt. Did you not hear that? I think we should leave.
Your feminine scream, I do not judge.
That was not me screaming. I promise that. My scream is at least a little bit more manly.
I looked at Rosalind for confirmation. Because I trust her.
Rosalind just shrugs. I don't think it's a very good practice to leave in the middle of showing potential buyers a house.
Would you be prepared to make an offer? As he starts kind of very subtly kind of shuffling back towards the way you came.
I mean, we've yet to see the rest of the complex. We only saw the opening rooms and the basement.
Yes,
so
let's
far.
go upstairs. How about?
How would you?
I'll show you the bedrooms. I'll show you the guest rooms. I'll show you the dining room.
Oh,
Is
you don't want
there
to see
That's
another
upstairs. You know. I mean, there's one on the opposite side. We could go all the way around, but
Yes, let's take
Yes.
the long way down here. Let's see all of the basement structure.
I want to check that there's no
Foundation
cave-ins,
cracks.
no leaks.
Blue kind of bumps against you as he seems to be moving behind you, Rosalind.
What's up, Blue?
You turn around and he's not there. He's actually on the opposite side of the hallway, just kind of staring over at you, blankly. Not much. These pipes, maybe. As he sort of reaches up and like tests the strength of them. There's a little crunch as one of the sections breaks off. Oh.
I'm shaking my head.
My hamster is getting
Like
antsy.
I gotta
If we
mend
be
that.
adventurers,
Sorry.
let us adventure.
It happens.
Tries to put it back in place and it just falls, shatters on the ground. Oh.
Well, there's a little value knocked off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it'll go right back together.
Sure.
New influence.
Except
They're just thinking like I'm gonna have to spend weeks just quote unquote mending this place.
you see him just take a wild swing at the penknife right behind him as he backs up. He says, "Did you feel something touch your shoulder?"
No, usually if anything touches my shoulder, I put it 6 feet under.
She is correct. I'd light a cigar.
Blue kind of whips around and looks behind him. I think I felt that too.
I'm gonna look to the realtor.
You
and go,
feel things, Blue? Like other than emotion?
None shall see.
Yeah.
May give me away.
I mean, if something touches me, I need to be able to feel it.
Huh. Today I learned.
I look to the realtor.
Bear in mind that while she's okay with Warforged, she still doesn't know, like, a lot of things about them.
Rosalind, you feel something give a fairly harsh tug on your tail.
I'm going to attempt to reach behind and fucking suplex it immediately.
Give me a strength check. Anything? As you whip around, grabbing a wooden shelf for wine. It's completely empty, but it's still fairly heavy as you grab it and just suplex it right into the middle of the the little hallway, right into Blue.
Perhaps
So
now
he just
would be
grunts and gets shoved up against the wall.
perhaps now would be a good time for turn on.
They're just gonna sigh and just go,
What? Wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
Okay. There's a joke, and I usually laugh, but now I'm just annoyed. Nobody tucks on. All right.
Only
If-
I can.
All of you invisible bitches, get the hell out here right now, and I'm gonna roll intimidate.
All right, go ahead.
All 6 goblins take off their rings of invisibility and flee.
Oh wow, that was a lame roll. Oh well.
For that one Power Stone,
I said a
Uh,
minor
that
was
one would
okay
be
for
denied.
that. Okay.
That one would be denied. I do have something in mind.
Zer's just gonna go, and he's gonna go. Oh God, how is he gonna say this? By the Holy Crimson Flame, I command thee to show thyself, or else be smited into the fiery hell of doom. Yes, that's how it goes.
Go ahead and give me an intimidation check. With disadvantage because none of those places are real. Actually, it's like the same thing. So,
He hasn't read his vow threatening verses in a while.
no, he hasn't. He hasn't practiced. What bonus does he get? Whoops. All right. You don't seem to get a direct response, but the floorboards them above you start to creak, almost as if somebody's walking.
I can yell. I'm gonna yell upstairs. You can either serve us in this house or get the fuck out. Because he's just kind of getting upset now. If they don't serve any purpose, he's just done with this.
You hear nothing for a moment until you hear a very faint whisper just behind the realtor's ear. He turns white as a sheet and bolts. Yeah, he kind of clambers and stumbles over the broken shelving unit as he just makes a break for the exit.
I'm gonna attempt to grab him.
All right.
What do you want?
Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Yeah, if...
All right,
if
you'd be
that
able
guy-
to like get him in a headlock as he passes by, or just kind of grab around his legs.
Headlock, but it's his ankle.
Okay, so how much did you say? 3,000 gold?
The pipe.
Yes, 3,000 sounds perfect. Sounds wonderful.
Okay.
And I'll waive all the paperwork fees, all the transfer fees, all the keys.
I'll hold out my hand. I'll hold out one hand for the key, and I'll rest while holding onto him, and I'll indicate that I have my pouch below the hand.
He will literally do anything. He shakes your hand. He shoves the key in your hand.
I'll give him the pouch of 3,000 Gallifars.
All
You
right.
should have said 2,000. He'd probably sell this house for
My
10.
hamster is getting antsy. If we be adventurers,
Go ahead and minus
let
3,000
us
Gallifars.
adventure.
Just it.
All right. Do you let go of him?
I expect you to show up here at least at the front gate with the paperwork by this time this evening.
I'll be back in like an hour.
Good.
I'll
If
hold
not,
your
I'll be one. If not, I'll be bringing the ghosts to your office.
He kind of chokes out as he tries to pull away.
I'll let him go now.
All right, he scrambles on out of there.
I give her a wide smile and a nod of approval.
I mean, like, I know he probably would have went lower.
Yeah.
I feel I was at least
not cut him too raw of a deal.
I'm not cutting him too low. I did cut 2,000 off the asking price.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
As you hear the front gate screech open.
Now, what to do with our
Basically-
spook friend? He's just gone.
As he disappears, you hear from all around you a chorus of whispers slowly kind of building up from the silence. At first, you thought it might have been maybe the wind,
Zim,
but
that's
it clearly starts to evolve into quite a few voices from all around. Every so often, you see maybe a glint of light in the darkness. Maybe
Zim.
a
Can you
pair of
stop that?
glowing eyes.
Hmm.
It's like a stream thing.
Yeah, it's whatever that new soldier thing is, and it's playing through his mind.
Anyways,
what
as
do they
that's
say?
starting to, nothing in particular. It's sort of that just very very spooky, sort of ghost phenomena.
Gators unfazed by spook.
But we'll switch away from that for a moment to go back to the folks in the forest. That'd be Sinel, Dusty, Inun, and York.
Oh,
Go ahead and give me a survival check to navigate through the forest and try to find this place.
Oh, I got this. I got my maps.
All right. As you make your way through, kind of charting the edges real quick, you come up with the unfortunate reality that there doesn't seem to be in this area, as far as you're aware. It might be buried under the snow, but you're not able to find any sort of large standing stones, which might have shown where this thing is.
Let me.
The area of forest that you're
cast-
looking through is sorry.
Let me ritual cast detect magic.
All right. As you sit down, kind of clearing off an area of snow.
Start that, yeah. Sentinel, you want to climb the trees, see if you can get a better look?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
As you kind of clear out the snow and sit down on the fairly level piece of dirt, you're midway through casting the ritual as you're kind of drawing lines in the snow for your claw kind of digs into something stone. As you look down, you kind of brush away a little bit, and you see the very start of a bit of arcane engraving in a large stone slab. By pure luck, it seems that you've sat down on the exact spot where you need to.
Hey guys, we found it. My expert navigation brought us here, just as
Wow.
I planned.
Wow, Anoon, you're so smart and good at finding things on purpose.
He's gonna give him a cheeky smirk.
That was the first 100 I've seen in a long time.
Really?
Yep.
When you asked if I wanted even or odd.
Even or odds, that was just to see if there was one in the town.
It's a pretty important role, I think. I'm glad I got the right one.
But anyways, as you sort of start brushing it off, you see that it's a fairly weathered-looking stone slab. But the actual standing stones that would have been around it seem to be gone.
I'm gonna use my Kitsune fire and try to melt the snow around.
All right.
Which is essentially just like a weaker version of Scorching Ray.
Gotcha. You'd manage to just keep the heat up enough to kind of warm the area and start pushing the snow off.
Why would we want to
Alright.
scorch?
What's up?
Why would we want to scorch you?
It's
Funny
odd.
joke.
It sounds like there's a joke. I'm just not hearing it. Terrible. I apologize. All right. Here's the issue: is I don't know teleportation circle or anything that can help us with this, but we're here. Eric, was there
Yark, I
something
think it
you wanna
was your
hear?
goal to look for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't require us to cast teleportation circle last time.
That was using a basically someone to actually run the thing. So you might have to contract someone to come out here, and actually activate it for you.
Yark, you're an artifice. Can you, like, run some power into this?
I'm gonna see if I can put magic into it.
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
I'll assist.
All right.
Nice. I got an 18 and a 20.
All right. Give me a moment. I know there's a table for magical services here. I just want to get a ballpark as to the price. But that
That's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. The art.
I want to see.
Oh, we got
art.
new art.
That dynamic pose. I love it. I freaking love it. Oh, I was hoping it was going to be of a noon. I wasn't sure if it was going to be him getting choked out by Gaster's hand out of a bag. Oh, this is great. I'm so glad I bought that whip. Gonna be my dumbest arc yet.
All right. Ooh, that's crazy. So, from that, you would understand that normally costs about for a full round trip, aka a technician teleporting out here, and then using the circle to teleport you back to Sharn, would cost 2,000 even. However, you're starting to understand this one in particular and see that it's been enhanced with a few rare metals and various gemstones embedded into the plate underneath, thereby lowering the cost and expenditure a little bit. By using these properties, you think that you could basically pump a lot of spell slots into it and use it, with the unintended side effect of it being basically an order of magnitude less safe.
How many spell slots are we talking?
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm
Alright,
gonna
over
step
here.
away from here before I get sucked into whatever you guys are about to do with this.
Alright, Dova, I'm gonna use your wording against you.
Okay.
I want to do an Arcana check to see what this Ion Stone could do if I tried to refract the spell slots from inside of it, because it says that this is a prism, so it reflects energy. So I'm wondering if I can use this prism to
It's more of a
refine
prism shape. It's not really
the
a
spell slot. No? Ow. Prism
No.
shape. Oh, I just hit my
like
knee.
a rectangular prism is not really a a crystal prism.
I
That's just kind
guess-
of the shape of it, and the stone prism itself is kind of a faint lavender color. But it would be opaque. As far as prism stuff goes. However, I'd say, and this is kind of one of the reasons I would like to go to, or I'd like to at least try out the mana point system.
Mana point?
Hey Dova, if you want, you
We'll
can just
try
have
it
me
out.
use that mana point system for the rest of the game. I'd be 100% okay with that. I much prefer it over spell slots.
All right. I suppose it would fit your.
Unique magic aesthetic.
I suppose so.
So mana.
However, I'd want it to be all or nothing if we do go for that.
Yeah, of course. Like I
Okay,
said,
so
it like so. I have 4 level 1 slots, 2 level 3s, 3 level 2 slots, and 2 level 3 slots. If I were to use the mana meter system, I could cast all those spells and use up all my mana exactly. The only difference being I can cast more than 4 level 1s. I can cast more than 4 low level spells.
I've looked through it. I'm still deciding whether I want to do it. I just need to look at the teleportation circle spell real quick.
Maybe if I like one of the side effects of using this jank old teleportation circle is that the way I use magic is affected in a way that I use mana meter now or something.
Figure something out. There it is. Technically, it's a level 5, so you guys do have the pure power available. Let me.
How do you get like the total number of mana you know?
There's a table for it in the book.
Magic.
What's Yark's highest spell slot?
3.
Okay. I mean, I have no idea how the mana pool works,
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
but I don't know if it's a way of powering the Magitech machines with spell slots, then that's kind of rad.
So, I would say that until a more permanent solution is figured out, I'd say you'd be using the teleport table for a very familiar location. Since you've been there, you've kind of seen the hub for it.
I went to the Magic District to look for items. Would I have seen the actual sigil over there too?
Yeah, but at that point you'd only get the scene casually.
Okay.
Thing. With a permanent circle, normally you get basically a 100% chance to get there. However, since you're basically being all chaotic about it, you'll be using the very familiar table. So 75% chance you get there, and then kind of diminishes down to a little smaller percentage chance of being off target. With a, I think that's going to be a 5% chance of having a mishap.
Well, before powering this up, we should probably get the rest of the group back together. I don't really want to fire it up right now when there's only half of us here.
Works for me.
All right. So, heading back out. I'd say you guys would have probably talked about where you guys were going, so you'd know that they were currently doing an open house on the villa just outside of town. So I'd say without too much work, you'd be able to find your way back towards the main road, and then start heading up. A few minutes after you get on the road, you see a fairly scrawny-looking man just sprinting down the road, and without much pretense, he just sprints right past you guys.
He's carrying a big bag of money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion and make it sound like a bear's behind him.
You asshole. As he kind of lets out a shriek and runs faster. He's just kicking up a trail of snow.
His tails are gonna ignite as he laughs somewhat maniacally.
Actually, an asshole.
And then he's gonna like kind of lose his breath laughing at himself, and then his tails are gonna go out and he's gonna recompose himself. What was that?
Are you evil at noon?
No, I'm not evil.
Okay.
I already said I am
Just
not
got a feeling
going back
about
to
that guy.
Sharn.
Where is the...
Sinnoh's gonna head back to the town. He's not going
All
through
right.
that circle.
We weren't. We were heading to the mansion to rendezvous with Zerth and
My
Rosalind.
hamster is getting antsy. If we be adventurers, let us adventure.
Which... Oh, there it is. Okay. So since Yark is a half caster, he'll be basically dividing his casting level in half, rounding down. So he'll be level 4, so he'll have 17 spell points. Right? But I'd say instead of using that list to determine the highest... Actually, what's the highest level spell that you can cast, Yark?
3.
3? I would say use the character sheet to determine the max level that you can cast. But you can then switch over to the spell points in the DMG.
I did normal caster spell points.
No, for a half caster. So you basically divide your divide the mana pool by half. Or
Oh, what a
that's how it
coincidence!
goes.
I have the Dungeon Master's Guide right here. It was open up to the magic item page for some reason, but now I'll look. I'll find.
Maybe do this between sessions.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, okay.
Or after the session, we'll figure it out. So, back in the dungeon,
Wine
you
shower.
hear menacing whispers from all around you. Almost a chorus slowly closing in from all directions. The darkness seems to grow even more advanced, just beyond your field of view. Even the lantern's starting to almost flicker out, even though it's designed to not go out, being magical and all. Blue is gonna bring a hand to a flail that he has on his belt, just very slowly and calmly unbuckling the little buckle that's keeping it in place as the chain kind of falls down.
Hearus, we are now the owners of this place, and request those who wish to speak appear before us.
That's an accepted from Jaffer. But Rosalind.
Mm-hmm.
Give me an insight check with disadvantage.
Oh boy,
I rolled the wrong.
that's a double. That's double one.
Ooh.
Legendary Snake Eyes.
I thought my one's used up for the.
Give me another roll because they just tied.
Whoa.
All right. Almost creeping in from all directions, coming from the floorboards above and the stones beneath your feet. You hear a quiet, phantasmal whisper. Just saying, "Why should I listen to you?"
Because we could work out whether you chose to be here or you're forced into staying here and work something out between.
Give me a persuasion check. You're not the first to say that. You're the fifth. All turn on their promises.
Do I hear this also?
Yes. You would have heard that second exchange.
Yes. But I do not break promises. I am not here to cause grief or a rift. It is better and more beneficial for both parties to work out in this abode. I take you and place my honor and title of a cleric of the Fury on it.
You say the Fury?
Yes. He's not shamed.
You sound defensive.
Well, certain circles, the Fury.
Do you really say the Fury? Yes. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't I?
Why
Is
would
there a
I?
reason I shouldn't? Is there a reason I should be?
I wear her proudly, damn it.
Can I get a critical card? For a crit hit?
Somehow I don't think this is going in the exact direction we intended.
Is it magic? Natural?
This would be a melee, technically. But it would be
What type of damage?
force.
Boom. Triple damage, and if this attack deals force or thunder damage, you are pushed back 2d4 times 5 feet.
Alright, here is for the amount of feet. Times 10?
Times 5.
Times 5.
So basically,
That'd be
whatever you
20
rolled,
feet.
it's that many squares.
Oh, that'd be perfect, yeah.
You think I would
And then
regret
triple
saying that?
damage.
I do not.
Ooh,
Dova,
that's
you
a lot
have
of
to
fours.
Dova, you have to stop.
You hear the building kind of quake and creak around you as the voice just almost screams directly into your ear. Liar! As a wall of force pushes you over to the side as you slam into the wall, kind of cartwheeling to the ground and trying to catch your breath. You take 31 points of force damage. As you feel something scratch against your ankle, almost pulling on it with a claw-like grip.
I do not lie. Just because others have deceived and broken a promise does not mean everyone.
I'm gonna raise my voice. You will listen to him.
Hmm.
And he's being honestly sincere. Like, when he makes a promise, he keeps that promise. And he's just kind of projecting that. Like, no, I'm not lying.
It's like probably
There's-
the two most honest characters in the room, considering that, like, what the hell is Rosalind got used her lying? She smashes things.
Yeah.
The sort of almost mental pressure from around the room starts to kind of fade away for a moment. As the voice kind of quietly resumes, saying, "If you do not disturb me, then I'm not afraid to make a deal. But I'm also not afraid to end this all while you were asleep."
Neither are we. Like we stated, it's more beneficial for both parties to work together. We are living in the same household. I do not wish to tread on your space, but live in harmony with you. It works out for everyone.
There's a long pause as nothing seems to change with all the various whispers before the whispers slowly seem to fade away, and that kind of mental, or that sort of inky blackness around you sort of just returns to its normal light lacking state. The ever bright lantern slowly returning to its regular luminance. That the whispers disappear. You don't hear another word from whatever voice was speaking to you. But that feeling in the back of your head is still there.
Stay at your designated area of where you wish not to be disturbed.
Yes. We can also write something up of house rules as you can, so we can understand and more peacefully coexist, so we're not stepping on each other's metaphorical toes.
No response.
I think
Give me a religion check.
Religion.
This is checking a lot of the boxes of like a poltergeist. So something that's causing them to stick around in this one place with kind of almost an omnipresent powers in this area.
So
The area that it
specifically
affects.
the
The area that it
basement.
affects. I mean, it could be the whole house. It depends. You've heard. You've done some case studies.
In the early cleric
on
days.
Yeah, this was like this is your pre cleric bar exam of you've heard stories of some hauntings that were confined to a single drawer in a dresser, and ones that would encompass an entire town of a single spirit. It really depends.
I'll look over to Rosalind as I pick myself up. I'm going to safely assume that it's probably going to be in this basement since that's where it was strongest, but we will give it time. I have a good feeling about this.
I mean, would we still be able to store like booze down here? Or
I think we can probably talk out that if we're not down here for longer than need be, it should be fine.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll see about
Yeah.
we'll see about getting doors fitted on the stairs at least, so nobody wanders down here by accident.
Locked doors that only us two have a key for, just in case.
It's about at
Anything
this point
drastic.
that the remainder of you would sort of roll up on the property, except for Sinel. Because you were going back down to town, correct?
Well, Sinel will accompany them over to the manor, estate, whatever, villa.
Okay. So the rest of you would roll up at about this time. The front gate's wide open, but you're pretty sure that this is the house.
Oh, nice place we got here.
I'll just meanwhile in the basement I'll just waggle the key and surf and be like, yeah, I technically just bought it on the fly. Talk about impulse shopping.
Yes, you know, good going with lowering the price.
All right, let's head back upstairs.
Noon's gonna be knocking on the door.
You guys hear a knock at the front door. Technically, the house doesn't have a front door. The front gate kind of leads to the front of the house, which is just kind of a long open hallway leading into the front atrium. But as you head in, you would see a light coming from a staircase that leads down into what looks like a cellar.
Regardless, he enters the house and there's the sound of knocking.
Just knocks on the wall.
Yeah, it just sounds like he knocks on wood when he enters the place.
We'd be heading up the stairs at this time anyway.
All right, then you'd see each other.
Mario.
I do not
Stop
know
it.
this Mario.
Go ahead and take 1 point of mental damage.
Man, this place is pretty nice. It's like where spirits have lease.
Something like that.
All right.
So, quick.
I know 5 points of damage.
So,
hurt by enemies.
Quick heads up. Try not to stay too long in the basement for now, or make any loud noises. There is a previous.
Clarification.
I'm right here.
Some kind of clarification. There's some kind of spirit of some kind here, and we seem to have reasoned with it for the moment.
All right, so you've reasoned with a spirit.
Yep.
That's trapped in a house.
Yep.
Poltergeist, most likely.
I asked it. I asked it if it was being forced to stay here or if it chose to stay here, and it said that people had broken promises before. So I'm assuming that would be a dialogue for later.
We're working on it. The house essentially came with a roommate.
Yeah, that's generally not great.
I think it's gonna work out great.
I mean, to be honest, I managed to drop the price by 2,000 Galifars.
Wait, you bought the house from a ghost?
No, I bought the house from the estate agent. Did you see him run down the road?
Oh, that was the estate agent?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. He's gonna think to himself and kind of squint, and then just go, yeah, okay.
It's like that all checked out.
About something.
He promised me all. He promised me all the paperwork within an hour, and I said if he didn't, I'll bring the spirit to his office.
She's like, should I have done that? Oh, that guy. Oh, he's the one. He was the okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, the one you scared with the bear.
You scared him with a bear?
I don't know what they're talking about.
Can I do an inside check?
Yes. Would he be able to see through your
he's gonna He's got a big grin. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna give him a high five.
I'll return it. I don't know. I just saw this jabroni running down the street, and I thought I'd give him something to run from.
You're more and more like Charlie every day.
He's just Zerk just starts laughing about it.
Make sure I stay away from Dennis.
Because that poor man went through so much in that basement with us too, and then he's running away, and then had to deal with that.
My
Well,
new
Zerth is
nickname
laughing,
for
so he's-
noon is Chuck.
What was that?
My new nickname for noon is Chuckles.
Chuckles?
Yeah.
All right. Chuckles the fox. All right, yeah, Anu's gonna be totally fine with himself doing that earlier. He's like, yeah, all right, that was worth it. All right, Anu's gonna start taking a lay of the land.
All right. So, as you're kind of looking around and just checking out the general state of the estate, it's a walled compound. The walls are about say 10 feet high. Actually, that's a little bit high. They're about more like 8 feet with nice little iron spikes on the top. But that goes all the way around. There's a carriage house along with a stable. There is a shed with it appears to be built for ground maintenance stuff. So shears, a scythe, perhaps other stuff like that would go in here, along with various tools and stuff. There's a workbench in there as well.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, can I send my unseen servant around the property to map it out for me?
Can they actually carry the map? Because I don't think they can actually give you information back. Because you just tell them to do one thing and.
Because it says it's mindless and shapeless, but it can fold clothes and pour wine and do other things.
So it can do very, very simple menial tasks.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a commoner that's invisible.
Yeah, so he can walk around and draw lines.
I'd say that
it can do simple things that a human servant can do.
Less complicated than folding clothes.
All right. As you send him off with a piece of parchment and some quills, yeah, and a quill and ink. He just goes off and does his thing for a little while. But you see that there's an upstairs as well as a downstairs. The front of the house is mostly what seems to be guest quarters, but all of the interior spaces are accessible through the main courtyard. None of them are accessible from the outside of the main building. The courtyard is full of like the large pool in the courtyard is currently full of a fairly dark kind of pond-like water. It appears that there's a sort of a well mechanism to draw water into it, though you're not sure exactly how to work it without going into the basement. There's two master bedrooms. There's a good number of smaller bedrooms. There's a guest quarters, there's servant quarters. There's no dining room actually, now that you're looking around. But you do spot a kind of den or like an interior area that might be used for that.
I mean, alternatively, we could always change the servant quarters into a dining. Just not for
there's always
walls.
that. Mm-hmm. And the servant quarters are next to the kitchen, so that is definitely an option. The kitchen is set Yark.
What?
The moment I said kitchen.
What, that noise?
Yeah.
Yes, that was me.
I was going to say, my dog's whining behind me. I don't know if my mic's picking that one up.
But the kitchen's fairly well. The kitchen's fairly well equipped. There's some rusty pans and pots and stuff, but very little in the way of actual food. You probably find a few sacks of flour, and that's about it. Yes, there's guest quarters, as I said, master bedroom, a large study with empty shelves at the moment. It seems that there are a few scrolls, and you go over to read them, and they appear to be just blank and for show. Same with the handful of books. They're just decorative, like wooden blocks. What were you about to say?
I said bathrooms.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, there's an actual like indoor privy.
What? How fancy.
It's cold enough that that everything seems to have been frozen, but it is it's a fairly nicely equipped bathroom.
We have underfloor heating and stuff, so I assumed that Eberron style, brass pipes. We've got like running water and shit.
And hot water, like hot tubs. Not a hot.
You didn't hear about that, but you assume that you can probably get it to work. There is a large indoor bath. It's more of a kind of an open bath as opposed to a like actual bathtubs. It's about 8 foot long, 8 feet wide. Actually, about 10 feet long, 8 feet wide. Just an interior bath that seems to be empty at the moment, but you do see some plumbing around the edges. So you figure that it probably can fill itself and heat itself, do all sorts of fancy stuff. But right now everything's cold, dark, and devoid of various ration foods and furniture and stuff.
Just like home.
Yeah. The Noon's gonna check out the basement.
I will grab him.
I'm not gonna, I just want to check it out. We don't know what's down there.
We do not.
It runs about the same length as the entire complex. The front part under the front stairs is mostly wine cellar. I may have accidentally broke one of the wine racks. There's nothing on them though. Then the further in you go, there is indentations in the walls, really shallow ones, almost like cells, but they didn't seem to have any doors on them. Oh, and the clay, there's clay piping down there as well.
All right. Well, what about the rooms you didn't see down there?
Oh, those are haunted.
Well, yes, there's a ghost down. There's a ghost down here, so there is obviously something else going on in here.
Well, I mean, he didn't want to be disturbed, so
and we're gonna respect that.
All right, Zerth.
So
Anoon's gonna put up his hand, kind of like in a swearing motion. The only thing I'm gonna do down there is counterspell. If it attacks me, I will disable it.
You know how you don't get Bobby to attack you? Because it never took us
not go down there.
Not go down there. How about
by the way, Anoon? It's about at this point, Anoon, that you realize you're feeling a lot colder than everyone else seems to be. Like you've been like tightening your robe a little bit and turning the flames up on your tail a little bit more, but everyone else seems to be just sort of at a normal state of sort of dress up.
Why do I imagine them just here, like having a temperature gauge on these tails and just tap?
He just twists the tip of one of them and they get brighter.
I mean,
what I do is I lick my fingertips and I straighten out the furs on the tips of my tail to a really slick point, and the fire gets hotter.
I mean, you could ask. The one of the pipes was broken accidentally by a certain metalhead over there.
He's currently like tracing a finger along one of the large mosaics on the wall. It doesn't seem that he's damaging it, thankfully.
Blue, you want to help me do some maintenance in the basement?
Sure.
How about we give it time?
This is why I said ask.
And he's kind of pressing buttons right now, but he's like, okay, fine. I'll check it out later.
How about me and you will go down later when he's okay with.
Okay.
All right, that I'll see to that.
We right now we're just safely assuming that's his room down there, so we're still working out the fine print.
Hey, dude, you got any kind of like glyph of warding?
I can tell you, no.
So it's about at this point that that your unseen servant comes back, and just kind of deposits the map in your hand, and you see a very rough, crude, and childlike depiction of the manor's kind of floor plan.
He's gonna kind of have been expecting that, even though it's shapeless. My unseen servant is essentially like Muggy, the mini Securitron in the Big MT. That's what he looks like to me. He's like a protector, some kind
like
of
a golem with a golem looks like a wheel on the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Even though it's invisible, I see him and I love him.
Yark?
Okay, so after that, Yark says, "Oh, I've got a glyph of warding," and then waves his hand over the door, and in just what looks to be black writing, just says, "Do not." Because I forget, I have a static. I can do a thing where like a static visual effect appears on one of the object surfaces. If I can be a picture, up to 25 words of text, lines or shapes, blah blah blah. And yeah, it's just permanent.
Oh, it's permanent. Do not enter.
Cool.
That's my
Cool.
well, I mean,
Can you remove that from the door and I put it towards the steps leading down?
I mean, I can remove it if I want to, but yes, it is permanent. Other than that,
I was about to. It sounded like you were about to say I can remove it, but I don't.
It's coming up on that hour, by the way.
That hour? Oh, right.
Yeah, for the guy to come back, and it's getting kind of dark.
And he's gonna walk outside because he's too damn cold in this house.
It actually, as you kind of pass the front gates, you feel a little bit warmer.
I'm gonna start setting up my tent.
All right. Give me a perception check.
Yeah.
All right.
Y'all.
Nothing.
Hmm.
You see him kind of go out the front gate and start setting up his tent.
I mean, I'm still within the property. I'm assuming there's like the gate in the front area, and then you go in kind of when I was envisioning some kind of courtyard
there's like
because there's no doors.
Well, yeah, there's the front gate, which is a wrought iron gate, which leads just right out onto the road that leads northwards. You
through the gate there's property and then the entrance to the villa, right?
Yes, but it's still within the actual walls. You
Yes.
still feel that chill.
Oh, okay. Damn it. Okay, so he'll probably cross this. He'll keep going till he doesn't feel that.
Yep. Yeah, as soon as you leave the boundary of the front gate, you no longer feel that chill.
He's gonna cross his arms, pouting, and then get to work in the tent.
All right.
All right. So, Zerf and I are going to take the master bedroom, and Dusty is going to take the main bedroom of the main house. You guys can have the guest rooms. But and I get like the kitchen up and running. But like I said, try to avoid the basement for now until we've spoken to the guest, previous tenant.
We should
a
call
bit more.
Doug.
He has become hyper.
Don't teach my hamster.
I'm going to go follow up on a slimy weasel who promised me he'd be back with the paperwork and hasn't. Does anyone want to come with? Otherwise, I'm going to storm into his office.
I
Anyone go
would.
along. He wants to leave the
That
house.
would be a nice snack.
So it's Zerth, Rosalind, and Inun, correct?
Inun.
Squad.
I'm gonna get the kitchen up and running.
All right.
I'm gonna bake some ghost.
And just
Sinnoh
as
will go
I
hunting.
I can never have ghost cookies. They go right through me.
Sinnoh.
as a
Give me a
As a-
survival
I-
check. Sorry, I keep talking over you, Rosalind.
Sorry. I was just something I was gonna do as I was leaving the mansion. I was just gonna say, hey, just gonna like ask out loud. I don't know if you're paying attention to us, but it would be really nice if you just watch over our friends pleasantly. Thanks. No, I'm gonna
Yo,
leave.
I'm going to 7-Eleven. You want anything?
As you start to head out, you're not very far outside of walls. When you in the very late evening light, spot some quite hefty tracks. Just looking at them very briefly, you note that they are from a bear, a pretty sizable one at that. I mean, looking back, you're still within sight of the villa. You can just see the top of the wall through the trees. But it seemed to have been heading back towards the road at some point. Maybe less than an hour ago. That's about all you can tell.
Is that to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Based on the tracks, would I think that I might stand a chance of taking it down with DeSoto?
Yeah. You can for sure take it down. If you get the surprise on it, you could probably land a kill shot.
Cool.
If not, it might be a little dicey, but you should come out on top.
Then Sinnoh will follow it.
All right. So you move at. Could I get perception checks from all of you, currently on the road or otherwise outside the villa?
Yeah.
That one's not me.
Where am I right now? No.
Would you follow along with them, or would you be just hanging out in the house exploring?
He would probably be eager to check it.
Eager to check the house out?
And when you're done exploring,
Okay.
and when you're done exploring, you can help me make ghost cookies.
Ghost cookie.
So
Yeah, Surf and I did say that Dusty could have the bedroom in the main house as long as we get the me and Zerk at the master bed.
Mm-hmm. So he has a pretty good sized room.
Yep.
fairly barren though. There's the remnants of like a straw mattress. But you guys really need to furnish this thing to really make it feel like home.
We got to do a couple quests to get
It's
money.
still a,
Yeah.
It's still a freaking step up from the tents and bedrolls.
That's true. So DeSoto, his ears kind of perk up as they point towards the direction, kind of down the road towards the south. Kind of peers through the trees and just comes up on a hard point. As you kind of follow along where he's looking, you see a large, kind of blondish brown mass at the base of a tree. And at about that same point, Rosalind and Zerth, you guys would hear the kind of panicked, weak screams from somebody who you both would recognize. As well as you turn a corner, you would see him all the way up the top of the tree with a gigantic grizzly bear at the bottom of it. Kind of looking up at him.
Would I know that that is a would I know that that is a bear that I saw?
Yeah, you know it's a grizzly.
And how far away?
For you, it's about 120 feet, but it's through a few trees. But you should be able to get a good shot at it.
Perfect.
And it doesn't seem to have noticed the people coming down on the road.
Not to interrupt, but just for those who don't know, there's another pick in Art Chair.
Interesting. Is there specifically a grizzly bear?
I think it's just called brown bear. But I know there is one.
Yeah, I think it'd be a brown bear.
This piece of art also features an oon.
When did the dune turn into bomb?
Go ahead and roll damage.
So good.
Fantastic. All
Love
right.
it.
As you guys kind of round the corner, you see the bear who's chased the accountant up the tree. You see it kind of jump back in alarm as something hits it from kind of the rear quarter. It lets out a tiny roar as it turns, sees you guys coming, and then kind of bolts the other direction at full speed, off into the woods.
Wait, let me see. Oh, okay, never mind. I can't.
I'm
But that
going after
definitely
the
hit it.
bear.
All right, what's your speed?
35.
Full sprint speed. It can outpace you.
I'm gonna.
DeSoda
cast
can
slow
go
on both of
40
them.
though.
It can go 40. What are you gonna do? You're gonna cast slow?
I want to cast slow on the bear and the real estate guy.
You cast slow on the real estate guy. What's this? What's the saving throw on that?
As well too. It should be 17, right?
17 of what?
Oh wait, let me see. Oh, okay. So, oh, it needs a wisdom saving throw. Yeah, and my DC should be 17. Yeah.
Are we with
Right.
them?
All right, it failed to save, and he failed to save.
Alright,
Yeah.
They're both slow.
You guys are pretty much all in the same area with the bear running away.
I cast
Alright.
haste on Sinnoh.
All right, both of their speeds are halved. They have -2 to AC and dexterity saving throws, and they can't use reactions.
All right,
And on its move, they can either use an action or a bonus action, both.
gotcha. Yeah,
And
are you guys gonna
only-
try to kill this bear?
Sinnel's going for the bear.
Sinnel is. I'm moving over to the tree and shaking it.
I'm with Rosalind, but I made the pine marten a fast marten.
All right. Sinnel, I'd say that with all the advantages that you've been given, you can no problem chase down the bear and kill it.
Cool.
Go ahead and minus 2 more arrows.
I need to get more arrows.
But as he falls out with a very slow-mo yelp. Are you going to catch him is the question.
I'm thinking about. Nah, yeah.
You're going to catch him, or is Zerth going to catch him? Technically, he's closer up.
Yeah, Surf is closer up.
To the guy.
Yep.
I was
He's
assuming
taller,
we were
so he
just-
catches him sooner.
Oh, I was assuming he's running as fast as we can, but we're just walking and catch up to him.
I mean, he's on the top of the tree.
He's on the top of the tree. I shook it and knocked him out.
Yeah, he's fallen out.
That's right. Okay.
You can catch him, no problem.
He's running in slow mo.
He's trying to kind of get his clothes back in order, but his fingers are working as if they're frostbitten, which they kind of are.
Ray, drop the damn spell. I still need
Yeah,
paperwork off this.
Yeah, he's gonna drop it once the bear's dealt with. Or at least he'll drop it from him.
I don't think I can express my thankfulness in any way other than getting the deed as soon as possible, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go.
Yeah, also, can you find us an old? We kind
An
of have
old
a
what?
ghost problem.
Can you say it again, Inun?
He was saying something stupid about the ghost. He was just mentioning that there's a ghost in the house.
Oh,
He said,
I'm aware.
Said,
I believe the parties who bought the house are also aware, as he's starting to make his way away.
Okay, well, along with the deed, we need an old priest and a young priest,
And a rogue to keep them apart.
I'm thinking you're thinking about it like a ladder. You put
Why do we need a We don't need a ladder to deal with a ghost. What are you talking
no
about?
to deal with the priests. You make them wear it like a hat. You know, they put their heads through the rungs. They can't get more than a ladder's length together. You know.
Yeah, but it's funnier. It's more
Moving
D&D
on.
I mean, it's our normal end time, and I don't think I have any loose ends for this set. Go ahead and give me a cooking check with disadvantage due to a new environment and subpar ingredients in the flour.
Oh.
Because it's been out in the cold for a while, so it's got like freezer burn.
Can't keep a good chef down.
No, it's surprisingly not bad.
Wait. I clicked advantage by accident.
You dropped the 8, so 8 plus 9 is 17. Not bad. Yeah. For flour that's been basically out in the cold for at least what you estimate to be at least a few months. There's surprisingly few bugs in the flour, and you managed to whip up some mean-looking. What kind of cookies are they?
They're just regular sugar cookies with blueberry.
Gotcha.
Because they're gonna be ghost shaped, like cartoony ghost shaped, and like a very light and blue flavored blueberry. I think.
Very spooky.
Exactly.
But yeah, I suppose that's going to be the end of the session as he procures the paperwork for you, looking very ragged, and just clearly happy that this all is over for him.
I'm sure for saving his life, he'll hook us up with some like furniture and carpenters for a discount.
He has, in fact, you're able to purchase furniture at a 50% discount.
Awesome, sir. If that's your
he's
job,
referred you to one of his friends who is cutting you a deal.
Zerf, that's up to you because I spent all my money on the man. if Zerf is even here.
I think he's muted. Or he's busy.
Oh well, anyway.
So when everyone gets home, I'm gonna make sure. I made a lot of cookies, by the way. I offer them, and whenever I do, I say, "You want some cookies? They're blueberry."
Ugh.
You have to eat them upside down. It's the law.
I'm gonna karate chop Yark on top of the head.
After I stand back up, I'm still holding the plate. Oh, and before they all get eaten, I'm gonna make sure I save 3 and put them on a separate plate and leave them at the top of the basement stairs. And close the door.
There is no door for the basement.
There's no door yet. Hi, Zerf.
Hi.
Dova, I'm gonna put a door in the basement.
I could hear everyone, but I couldn't speak. I said, yeah, I'll go take care of the furniture stuff.
Gotcha. I think we'll deal with that either next session or between sessions.
Okay, well it'll still be the cookies will still be at the top.
Yeah. I mean, that would be good downtime activities between the party if they all want to like upgrade the banner and stuff.
Right, and there is something rather important I gotta talk to Dova about at the end of the.
Okay. Oh yeah, we have to figure that out.
Dova, how close to the manor is the teleportation circle?
So the teleportation circle is 15 minutes in the opposite direction of the mansion. So it's about 45-minute walk.
We just need to install our own teleportation circle eventually.
Just get a people mover.
Obviously.
Magic
mean-
feet mover.
Pick the dang thing up.
And push it somewhere else.
Yeah, there's an idea. We could just like
Well,
fucking
these are-
carry the thing over.
Push it into the.
stones. So yeah, huh? Oh, I'm gonna need. I mean, I'm sure I can move them if I just cast Animate Dead 7 times,
I don't think that works.
and I'll have 14 undead I can have to pull the rocks.
Do you have 14 undead worth of skeletons?
I'm sure I can find some. That basement seems like a good place to start.
He's just like,
I
he's just like,
guarantee there's some bones down there.
Dova, the town has a graveyard, doesn't it?
Ah, what if that would piss off the spirit if I raised its body?
Probably.
Yeah, you could
Its
guess it
body
probably would.
walked up
Oh,
the
hey.
stairs and it can't.
If you
Oh, hey,
woke
you're
me
not-
up from my dirt nap, I'd be pissed.
Oh, hey, you're not using this, are you?
I'm not
That's
waking
not
you
gonna
up for the
fuck off.
nap, just the body.
Mind if I borrow this?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can make a bear golem or something.
I have found an
But yeah,
excellent
Barebone
teleportation mishap table.
I wonder if we can strike a deal that anybody breaks in here that we don't say is okay. The poltergeist just eats them.
Yeah, let's just start the sitcom now.
That was part of the quote unquote contract or list that Zerk was going to write up with the Spectre, just to see what was going on. So we have some house rules.
I got this for us.
House Ghost, you weren't supposed to eat them. They were my dinner guests. And they had great taste.
It zooms in on your face.
Now I'm just thinking of the supernatural sitcom opening.
He
That's
just
great.
barges in from the basement, like sliding to a stop. Hey,
Like what is it?
The
Risky
ghost
Business
is our
style?
Kramer.
yeah, actually Kramer in the basement.
Oh, that's even
actually-
worse.
It's actually
I-
the ghost of Kramer.
Actually, the ghost turns out to be Frasier, and
I don't know much about Frasier. I'm gonna be honest.
damn.
Hey, Zim, do we get to finish this one battle before we...
Dove, the thing you posted
Yeah.
is horrific.
Yeah.
I hate that. Especially like in Rick and Morty.
Especially 14.
Yes, Rick and
It's-
Morty!
It's such a horrendous idea that you
Mhm.
could be trapped in an entire useless lifetime and just be like, oh, hey, you're done. Yeah, that was
Wake
80
up at some
years.
point and you had no
Get
idea.
pranked, you fools.
Yeah,
Bad thing.
horrendous.
I think 14 is more horrendous than 13.
No,
I'll be
no,
honest.
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
13
Zim-
13 will end sooner.
Zim, thank you for nuking the Lich King right off.
You're welcome. I've been really enjoying this stream
So
readers.
have I. And I'm kind of sad it's over now.
Why is it over?
I mean, the stream's about...
I'm gonna be streaming some more.
I want a boss chest.
Yeah, I'm done.
Alright, so you
All
guys-
right, everyone.
go ahead.
Thank you all so much for joining us this evening for Echoes of Eberron
Oh, I forgot.
Dungeons and Dragons. We will be back next week, yes.
Stop it.
I heard that. Do not.
No, yeah.
You can't slip that by me.
I don't know what's going on right now, but we'll be back next week with more Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, all those good things there, as well as down in the description below. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. It is because of you guys I'm able to continue bringing these streams. I'll be back in just a few minutes with some XCOM Chimera Squad, so do stick around for that. And I bid you all the most fondest adieu.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I will leave.
Have a good night,
Thanks for
everyone.
coming, guys. It's
Good
been
night,
great.
No.
So I know what next week's donation goal could be. If